Mic check. Microphone check. Microphone checker. Microphone check. Microphone checker. Microphone check. Microphone checker. Double tap the like button as you come on in, man. Purpose of my podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. It's your boy. It's your boy. I mess with your boy. I mess with your boy. It's your boy. Purpose of my podcast, back with the blast. One more time. Fast start, day 11. Trump escalates hard. ICE massive surge. Have you heard about it? We've been talking about it every day. Been giving you the updates. Been giving you the news. You got to know by now, this is where you want to be. If you want to be anywhere on YouTube to discuss politics, geopolitics, domestic politics, anything you want to talk about, politics, all day, every day. MAGA 123. Perfect time of podcast every day at 1 p.m. live. You guys made it to the podcast. I know you've been wanting to catch me live. Welcome in. I want to say welcome to everybody here. Thank you for joining the podcast. We on the road to 13,000 subscribers. Everybody, as you come in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as you come in. We on the road to 13,000. Wow. 13,000 subscribers on the way right now. Trump hits hard. We got immigration news. We got ICE news. Brand new ICE numbers. ICE is cracking down. Did you know it? ICE is cracking down. Deportations are down at the border. ICE arrests are up all over the country. It's escalation time. It is escalation time, baby. That's what we've been doing. Escalating. And I'm just so proud of Trump. I'm proud of the Trump administration. ICE is doing better than ever. ICE is escalating. ICE numbers are doing well. It's day 11. We're talking about day 11 and Donald Trump's day 11. Trump escalates hard. ICE massive surge. We're talking about day 11. Trump escalates hard. ICE massive surge. Brand new ICE numbers coming in. So proud of ICE. Brand new ICE numbers up in arrests. We got raids happening all over the place right now. Put it in the chat right now. How you feel about Trump and ICE right now? How you feel about Trump and the immigration enforcement release data from the Department of Homeland Security? Showing 65,000 people currently in federal custody, over 43,000 immigrants booked in June. I'm going to repeat that again. Over 43,000 immigrants booked in June. Let's go, ICE. Let's go. Ice, baby. Too cold. It's like ice, baby. Just go back home. 43,000 immigrants booked in June and more than 356,000 total deportations so far this fiscal year. And it's only July, baby. It's only July. That means we on track to do another million today. We on track to do another million deportations. And what did I tell you? It's working. It's working at the welfare office. It's working at the hospital. They used to go run and get free health care. They used to run and go get free welfare. Now reports are they are afraid to go to the welfare office because they're afraid that Trump and ICE will arrest them and deport them. I think that's a good thing. That's what I voted for. That's what we voted for. The reports are people are afraid to go to hospital because, you know, the immigrants, they're not citizens, but the Democrats in sanctuary cities give them free Medicaid. So they used to go to the doctor for free. Now they are afraid to go to the doctor. They're afraid to go to the doctor to get their free health care given to them by the Democrats. Why are they afraid to go to the doctor? Because Donald Trump. Shout out to Donald Trump and ICE and 43,000 immigrants being arrested last month. I'm sorry. It sounds like a year, but that's just in June. In June alone, ICE arrested 43,000 in June alone. That's 43,000 arrested in June by ICE. Just in June. And I'm so very proud of ICE. If you proud of ICE, put it in the chat. MAGA. I am so proud of the job that they're doing because the results are, check this out, you guys. The results are deportations are down. It's costing less on taxpayers. 356,000 ICE deportations since October, averaging 1,200 deportations a day. 65,000 held in detention. June record arrest. This is a brand new breaking news right now. ICE breaks a record. June record arrest, 43,000. Can I get a hand clap for ICE? Is ICE doing a great job? 43,000 arrested in 1 month. Very proud of ICE. They're going to construction sites, but what's the result? Safer roads, safer streets, more jobs for Americans. Coming to you live, breaking news: ICE setting record numbers. 43,000 immigrants arrested in 1 month in the month of June 2026. Double tap at the like button.
Breaking tonight at this hour, we're getting new immigration enforcement numbers, and here are some of the highlights. ICE deportations and removals for the current fiscal year, which began last October, stand now at more than 356,000. That's an average of roughly 1,260 deportations per day. The total number of people in ICE custody now is just under 66,000. Almost 40,000 of those have criminal convictions or pending criminal charges.
Breaking news tonight coming in. ICE is breaking records across the nation. ICE is breaking records. 43,000 illegal immigrants arrested in June alone. This is the highest number ever in American history. How do you think we got to this number? Well, maybe because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris opened up the border and let in 10 to 20 million people. Maybe that's why. Maybe because Kamala Harris was on TV saying, "Don't come, don't come." You know. Y'all remember Kamala Harris? Don't come. So 10 to 20 million, so 46,000 in 1 month. Congratulations to ICE. ICE is doing a great job. Breaking news tonight, ICE is putting up record numbers, doing a great job representing for Donald Trump and administration, creating jobs for me and you. Breaking numbers, 46,000 in 1 month.
Breaking tonight at this hour, we're getting new immigration enforcement numbers, and here are some of the highlights. ICE deportations and removals for the current fiscal year, which began last October, stand now at more than 356,000. That's an average of roughly 1,260 deportations per day. The total number of people in ICE custody now is just under 66,000. Almost 40,000 of those have criminal convictions or pending criminal.
So a couple numbers to break down. Out of the 60,000, 40,000 people have criminal convictions. So we'll have Tom Holman said, 80% of the people being arrested are criminals. With definitive numbers now. This is down to the number. It's not just, I can round it to say 60,000, but we got the down to the very last compound. 65,765. Out of those 65,765, 39,000 criminals. Now, what did I show to you yesterday about the Democratic Socialists of America? The Democratic Socialists of America said, these 40,000 with crimes do not deserve to be deported. Remember, Alvarez of New York, brand new to the House, Mondani backed her. She said nobody should be deported, including people with criminal records and people who have committed a crime. So you're a brand new Democratic Socialist, and I got a map to show you about, it's not just in New York. These Democratic Socialists are running for power nationwide. They're not being honest with you about this socialist communist takeover. 40,000 of the immigrants out of the 65,000 people who came here illegally are criminals. Tom Holman been saying it. Now here are the numbers down to the very last compound. 39,576. How more exact, how more transparent do you want it to be, ladies and gentlemen? How more transparent do you need it to be?
Breaking tonight at this hour, we're getting new immigration enforcement numbers, and here are some of the highlights. ICE deportations and removals for the current fiscal year, which began last October, stand now at more than 356,000.
New ICE number. So let me help you read this graphic. This is only since October. This is not since Trump took office. This is not since we began ICE operations. This is simply since October 1st. This is not the total number. The 40,000 number I'm reporting to you is just in June. That's how many immigrants are here illegally committing crimes. That's how many of here are committing crimes. Out of the 65,000, 80%, 40,000 are here committing crimes. Isn't the conservative media, haven't we said that? No one believes us. Instead, you got white liberals in the street protesting and saying we want to dismantle ICE. That's what we got today. We got liberal Democratic Socialists saying we want to dismantle ICE. So I got a question for everybody who say no ICE. And what you do about these 40,000? in 1 month. What do you do about these 40,000 criminals? If ICE is not arresting these people, guess what? If we never would have elected Trump, these people would be robbing you and kidnapping your grandmother just like Nancy Guthrie. Double tap hit the like button.
That's an average of roughly 1,260 deportations per day. The total number of people in ICE custody now is just under 66,000. Almost 40,000 of those have criminal convictions or pending criminal charges.
Let's go to an example. ICE out here doing their job, man. ICE.
Let me see the evidence. 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 Let me see.
Back up. He said back up. Put back up in the chat right now. Double tap hit the like button. Back up. We support ICE. ICE, ICE, baby. Too cold, too cold. It's like ICE, ICE, baby. Just go back home. Just go back home. In the field. ICE doing their job right now. Live video. ICE on the ground.
What happened?
She's under arrest.
For what?
She's a criminal alien.
For what?
And she's been convicted of crimes.
For what? What crime? What crime? What crime? What crime?
She's been convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She's not allowed to be here, and she's been deported previously. She doesn't have no documents.
No, she hasn't. Aggravated assault? No, this is not correct.
I have her whole rap sheet. I've been following her forever. Yo.
Forever? No, this is, you lying. Come on.
Is he lying, ladies and gentlemen? Is he lying? Because I just put out a report. Is he lying, ladies and gentlemen? He said he lying. But let's listen to the report again. How many criminals? How many arrests in 1 month?
Breaking tonight at this hour, we're getting new immigration enforcement numbers, and here are some of the highlights. ICE deportations and removals for the current fiscal year, which began last October, stand now at more than 356,000. That's an average of roughly 1,260 deportations per day.
1,200 a day, you guys. 1,200 deportations a day. Clap it up for Trump and ICE. 1,200 deportations a day. Let's go, ICE.
The total number of people in ICE custody now is just under 66,000. Almost 40,000 of those have criminal convictions or pending criminal charges.
65,000 in custody. Out of the 65,000, you got 40,000 of them are criminals. So when we see things like this and you see the crying, it's Trump news, Trump news, Trump news, giving Democrats the boo blues, giving Democrats the boo blues. So when you see the crying, when you see the whining, just remember the numbers that I showed you today. Out of the 65,000 in custody, 40,000 are convicted criminals. Double tap it. Like, but I'm giving you facts, baby. I'm giving you just the facts. ICE on the ground, live doing their job arresting criminals.
What happened?
She's under arrest.
For what?
She's a criminal alien.
For what?
And she's been convicted of crimes.
For what? What crime? What crime? What crime? What crime?
She's been convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She's not allowed to be here, and she's been deported previously. She doesn't have no documents.
No, she hasn't. Aggravated assault? No, this is not correct.
I have her whole rap sheet. I've been following her forever. Yo.
Forever? No, this is, you lying. Come on. This is not true.
Would you like me to post a rap sheet on your phone? I'll post a rap sheet for you.
Come on, let me see. No, let me see the evidence. No, let me see the evidence.
If you don't back up,
back up. This ain't a courtroom. You ain't a judge. Back up. He breaking in a federal investigation. Put him under arrest. Put him in handcuffs. Put a one in the chat if he should be under arrest. Put a one in the chat if he should be. You impeding a federal officer. Get the cuffs. Get the cuffs. Bookman. Get the cuffs, Bookman. Hey, Bookman. Get the cuffs, Bookman. Double tap at the like button.
Come on, let me see. No, let me see the evidence. No, let me see the evidence.
If you don't back up,
let me see the evidence. Let me see the evidence. Let me see the evidence. Let me see the evidence.
I said back.
Let me see.
I said back.
Bro, why you hit me, bro?
I said back.
Why'd you hit me?
Live on the ground in Texas. Live on the ground in Texas. Live on the ground in Texas. I'm coming to you live. Perfect Timing Podcast. Double tap hit the like button. Brand new ICE numbers. Brand new ICE numbers coming to you live from Texas. Brand new ICE numbers. We got 356,000 deportations / removals only since October. 65,000 in custody. Out of those 65,000, 40,000 convicted criminals. Like the young lady we just took a look at. Double tap hit the like button. Double tap hit the like button. ICE doing this 1-2. ICE doing this 1-2. That's what we do. ICE doing this 1-2. Double tap, hit the like button, get the likes up.
Breaking tonight at this hour, we're getting new immigration enforcement numbers, and here are some of the highlights. ICE deportations and removals for the current fiscal year, which began last October, stand now at more than 356,000. That's an average of roughly 1,260 deportations per day. The total number of people in ICE custody now is just under 66,000. Almost 40,000 of those have criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. Breaking tonight at this hour, we're getting new
ICE live on the ground. ICE, this is live. Domestic violence suspect unalive by police leading officers on a car chase in Simi Valley. Suspect was illegally armed, said he shot out the police. Double tap, hit the like button. This is what's going on in the American streets. ICE out here doing his job. ICE going to construction sites. ICE agents raid construction site and show a worker that a truck is coming back for 2 illegal aliens, but he won't snitch. They eventually arrest the guy for videoing and refusing to keep his distance. Double tap hit the like button. This is what we got to do out here.
That look familiar? No. His name is Ruben Lopez. Yeah, that off. Nope. All right, you mind if we talk to these guys?
No, we good. I mean, if they wanna talk, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me talk to them. Did someone talk to him?
Yeah, he's good. I'm good.
Okay.
What's going on?
So anyway, yeah, that's what it
That's
is.
it? Y'all just looking for them?
Just those two,
No,
man.
we don't know them.
Okay. Well, we'll be out of here in a second. Then.
All right, man.
For verification, real quick.
Why you trying to take a picture of me?
I'm not taking a picture of you.
Well, then, don't try to scan me. Fuck. Can't scan my face, bro. You can get up out of here, bro, if you want. You can't scan my face. Hey, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? Hey, watch out, bro. Hey, why you?
Back up.
Hey, back up. What do you mean? Why?
Just don't
But
get that close.
all right, I'm trying.
Well,
They're my
you're gonna pass,
friends.
go ahead and pass.
They're my
Don't get too
friends.
close.
Don't touch me. Why are you touching me? Am I touching you?
Just get past.
But am I touching you?
No, I don't want you to close to me.
All right,
I don't know
what
you're
y'all
gonna do.
doing then? Y'all ain't looking for who? ¿Quién buscan o qué? ¿A quién buscan?
You have the name?
They're not even here. They're not even here. Who y'all looking
You need to
for?
make sure.
Well, we're not them.
Sorry.
We're not them. Y'all need to leave, bro.
Hey, you need to settle down before I put you in cuffs, all right?
Do what you got to do then.
Hey, wait. Come on,
Yes. Just comply.
Do a job, right? Understand that?
Just comply. Just comply. Put it in the chat, everybody. Just comply. ICE breaking numbers. 43,000 arrested in just the month of June. Brand new numbers coming out. ICE breaking numbers this month. Putting out brand new numbers. Trump administration. ICE comes back. 43,000 deportations in 1 month. That's a record-breaking number, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the streets of Florida. That ICE is going to construction sites. ICE is everywhere. To get to that number of 43,000, ICE is doing their job every day. Double tap hit the like button. Let's go, ICE. ICE, ICE, baby. Too cold is like ice, ice, baby. Just go back home. Just go back home.
ICE agents stopped a passenger van in Immokalee, Florida during an immigration enforcement operation. Multiple people were detained as agents secured the scene. The video is generating debate over immigration enforcement across the country. ICE agents stopped a passenger van in Immokalee.
Do you see anything wrong here, ladies and gentlemen? I don't see anything wrong here. Let me know in the chat. Do you see anything nefarious here by ICE agents? It looked like federal agents saw a van, and they looked like, to me, allegedly, they smuggling illegals. They were tracking the van, and lo and behold, they pull over the van, open up the van, and the van is full. The van is full of illegals. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Wouldn't you know it, a random van on the way to a construction site is full of illegal workers, not citizens, and the ICE agents strike gold again. I said the ICE agents strike gold again. We coming to you live. 43,000 in 1 month. 43,000 in 1 month. Did you hear about this? Karen screams F ICE at the top of her lungs in the middle of a Denver airport while ICE detains an illegal alien. Liberal women are insane and a scourge on the country. I'm sorry, a scourge on the country. They should have arrested Karen too. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Karen should be arrested. Jamal didn't get arrested in the last video. Karen got away too. Jamal and Karen should make a baby. Jamal and Karen sitting in a tree. KISSING. Double tap hit the like button. ICE doing his thing. 43,000 arrests in June. Have you seen this video of the immigrant arrest in Denver airport? Let's watch it together live. ICE live in action.
My lawyer's outside. I am not impeding anything. I'm standing away from you. I'm asking you for her lawyer.
We're going to be very nice to you. And very
Who are you?
And with respect.
Who are you?
You don't have to look at me. You don't
have to say anything. Chantal, say nothing. Say nothing, Chantal. Say nothing at all. Offer them nothing. Show them nothing.
And furthermore, I'm going to advise you. You're interfering with a federal
I'm
law
not.
warrant.
I'm standing right
I will
here.
charge you with 18
I'm not
USC
in your way.
111.
I'm not in your way. I'm standing out of your
But
way.
You can continue on.
No, I'm just going to stand here. I'm not in your way at all.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not in your way.
We're going this way. Okay.
Yeah. She's right outside the door, Chantal.
And she's right outside, and that's fine. You can. We're going to close the door.
Hey!
And you're going to continue on.
No, I don't have to do that. Chantal, stop. Where are you? Help! Help! Help us! Hey, you guys, come help us! ICE is here. Help us! Help us! No, don't show me in. Please. I don't have to. No, stop. No, I'm not going to do that. You come on this side. That's fine.
You're allowed to record their faces. You're allowed to record them. You're allowed to record
Very nice. Be very respectful.
I don't give a fuck if you're being nice.
Live from the Denver airport, ICE doing their job. 43,000 immigrants deported in the month of June. This is live from the Denver airport. Live, ICE doing their job.
Fuck you.
Come on.
This is fucking evil, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Who gives a fuck if you're being polite? Fuck you.
I'm gonna just give you a heads up.
Shut up.
If you're on this flight,
No.
speak to them like that. You will not board this flight.
What, you like ICE? You're into ICE? You like ICE? You don't have to defend him.
The pilot is very well aware.
I don't care what the pilot is aware of.
But you have a choice right now. You can either get on the plane.
Wait, you're not in charge of me.
No, not if you.
Isn't it funny that the law applies to them when it's time to protect them, the law and rights apply to them. But other people's rights, like the rights of the federal officer, the rights of the TSA agent, the rights of the pilot and the other people on the plane, though her rights supersede those people's rights. But she is fully aware of her rights to use profanity and to impede in the federal investigation. But when she is told that you are now impeding on other people's rights, she don't care about that. What her response was, you like ICE. Where's the logic in that? The response, she wants to invoke her rights. Do you understand what I'm saying? She is invoking her rights of freedom of speech. But when they tell her, now you are impeding on other people's rights, her response is, you like ICE? You can't make this up. So glad we caught this on video. Yes, everybody has rights, Karen. Everybody has the same rights you're entitled to. Holy moly, Batman.
You're not in charge of me.
I'm just going to say you can make a choice.
No, I'm not talking to you. Okay. You should be ashamed of yourself. Everybody, this man is harassing a woman. He arrested her for nothing. Fuck you. Fuck ICE. Fuck ICE. Fuck ICE.
Can't make this up, man. Can't make this up. That we coming to you live, man. Immigration, man, is the news of the day, man. Brand new numbers coming out. 43,000 arrests, and that's in 1 month. Brand new immigration numbers. I'm giving it to you live right now. Brand new immigration numbers coming out right now. And I got different footage for you live. ICE live on the ground doing this job. And don't forget about the democratic socialist movement. You got to encompass this with the democratic socialist movement, because when you see these numbers, I got to show you what's going on, because they want to show you it's just New York. It's not just New York. These democratic socialists and communists who don't want to have ICE, and I just showed you the numbers. Out of the 65,000 that we have incarcerated right now in detention, 40,000 are criminals, and they say no more ICE, no more deportations. How you guys feel about that? I want to know honestly, if you agree with the democratic socialists, the DSA, they have a brand new platform. They're running for election and power all over. It's not just New York. They're in Colorado. I got the map. I'm going to show you the map. The democratic socialists are not just running in New York. Double tap at the like button. We're going to expose it all today. Double tap at the like button.
ICE has nothing to do with immigration. ICE has nothing to do with the southern border. ICE is about normalizing paramilitary force on our streets. ICE is about weaponizing the idea of immigration against the Constitution itself. ICE cannot be reformed. ICE cannot be retrained. ICE has to be abolished.
Dr. Abdul El Saeed. Can't make this shit. This is Senate candidate Bernie Sanders is backing him. Dr. Abdul El Saeed, not born in America, not red, white, and blue. Damn sure not MAGA. Damn sure not America first. Abdul El Saeed sound like Zarani the Morani Mandani, right? And the first thing, he not even elected yet. You know what else? You know what I wanted to say about Zarani Mandani? Have you guys even talked about how long he's been mayor? He hasn't even been mayor for a year. He hasn't been mayor for, like my mama would say, rest in peace, Zarani Mandani hasn't been mayor 5 minutes. We've never even talked about this. This is Abdul El Saeed, Senate candidate, and the DNC is putting all the money behind him. Bernie Sanders is backing him. AOC is backing him, and he wants to abolish ICE, a federal agency that's been in institution for over 10 years, going back to the Obama and Clinton administration. Hillary Clinton said her husband deported more people. Right now, to this day, Barack Obama deported more people, and Tom Homan worked for both of them. Double tap hit the like button. Tom Homan got a presidential accommodation for Barack Obama for doing such a good damn job in deporting 3 million. Deporting 3 million. But here it is, Dr. Abdul El Saeed. I wish I was making this up. I wish I was making this up, because I love America so much. And what's happening in America while the Democrats got you focusing over gay or straight or black or white. I wish everybody would wake up. This is what's happening while you're focused on black and white, gay or straight. Hello? Hello? Hello, this lie is being propagated like ICE was born when Trump was elected. ICE was not born when Trump was elected, and ICE is not out here arresting 43,000 in 1 month because it's hard to do so. If they arrested 40,000, that's 1,000 a day. Did you hear the numbers? He said 1,000 a day. If they're able to do that, it must mean that Joe Biden opened the border and there's millions of illegals running around committing crime. So this is the thing about the Democrats and the liberals. What would you have us do? Joe Biden opened the border. People were terrified. Fetterman said 300,000 in 1 day. Kamala Harris said, please don't come. They were unable to close the border. That's why y'all lost the election, because nobody believed the Democrats knew how to close the border. Donald Trump closed the border, and it's never been, the numbers have never been this low in border crossings. And here it is, Abdul Saeed. I wish I was making it up. That's his name. It's not a joke. It's not a put down. That's his real name. Abdul Saeed says ICE can't be reformed. ICE has to be abolished. And this is the Democratic Socialist candidate for the Midwest Senate. You know that? You know how long they stay in this? 7 years, you got longer than the president. Double tap at the like button.
ICE has nothing to do with immigration. ICE has nothing to do with the southern border.
Do y'all believe that ICE don't got nothing to do with immigration? At southern border, ICE numbers have directly reflected on the border crosses. Do y'all put a 1 in the chat if you support Abdul El Saeed?
ICE has nothing to do with immigration. ICE has nothing to do with the southern border. ICE is about normalizing paramilitary force on our streets. ICE is about weaponizing the idea of immigration against the Constitution itself. ICE cannot be reformed. ICE cannot be retrained. ICE has to be abolished.
He's been in America 5 minutes. Look at all these white people and white women just clapping. This is the saddest shit I ever seen in my life. He wasn't born here. He don't know shit what he talking about. He going to say ICE is it's just like Zerani Mandani. They not American. They're not American born and bred. And the first thing they want to do when they get into politics is start destroying America. Double tap at the like button. You're not getting. Do you see this clown? What's up with this clown? Do you see this? I wish I was making this shit up, man. Do you see the Karens? You can't make it. Is this a man or a woman? I think this a woman, man. Who knows in the chat? Double tap at the like button. What is this? Let's keep going.
Another dime of our money. Not one more dime.
ICE is funded. ICE is funded. Can somebody tell Abdul, you a doctor, right? Abdul, Dr. Saeed, can you tell? calling Dr. Saeed. Dr. Saeed, please. Calling Dr. Saeed. Somebody tell Dr. Saeed that ICE is fully funded. Let's show an example how courteous, how polite, how professional ICE handles 2 women. Double tap at the like, but ICE can't be. We don't need no retraining. We need to get the immigrants out the country. Double tap at the like button. ICE, baby. Too cold. It's like ICE, baby. Just go back home. Just go back home.
Lawyer's outside. I am not impeding anything. I'm standing away from you. I'm asking you for her lawyer.
We're going to be very nice to you and very talk to you very kindly.
Very nice. Very kind.
You don't have to look at me.
You don't have to say anything. Chantal, say nothing. Say nothing, Chantal. Say nothing at all. Offer them nothing. Show them nothing.
And furthermore, I'm going to advise you. You're interfering with a federal
I'm
law
not.
enforcement.
I'm standing right
I will
here.
charge you with 18
I'm not
USC
in your way.
111.
I'm not in your way. I'm standing out of your way.
You can continue on.
No, I'm just going to stand here. I'm not in your way at all.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not in.
Thank you. Very polite, very professional. Put a 1 in the chat. How did ICE handle this situation correctly and professionally? Do you think these individuals need to be retrained? Double tap at the like button. Dr. El Saeed, we got a question for you, Dr. Saeed. Dr. Abdul, Dr. Abu Dhabi, Dr. Dab Abu Dhabi, Dr. Abu Dhabi, Dr. Dab Abu Dhabi. We got a question for you.
In your way.
We're going this way. Okay.
Yeah. She's right outside the door, Chantal.
And she's right outside, and that's fine. You can. We're going to close the door.
Hey!
And you're going to continue on.
No, I don't have to do that. Chantal, stop. Where are you? Help! Help! Help us! Hey, you guys, come help us! ICE is here. Help us! Help us! No, don't show me in. I don't have to. No, stop. No, I'm not going to do that. You come on this side. That's fine.
You're allowed to record their faces. You're allowed to record them. You're allowed to record them.
Very nice. Be very respectful.
I don't give a fuck if you're being nice. Fuck you.
Okay.
Come on.
This is fucking evil, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Who gives a fuck if you're being polite? Fuck you.
I'm gonna just give you a heads up.
Shut up.
If you're on this flight,
No.
speak to them like that. You will not board this flight.
What, you like ICE? You're into ICE? You like ICE? You don't have to defend him.
The pilot is very well aware.
I don't care what the pilot is aware of.
But you have a choice right now. You can either get on the plane.
Wait, you're not in charge of me.
No, not if you.
You're not in charge of me.
I'm just gonna say you can make a choice.
No, I'm not talking to you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Everybody, this man is harassing a woman. He arrested her for nothing. Fuck you. Fuck ICE. Fuck ICE. Fuck ICE.
What do you think in the chat? Let me know your opinions in the chat. We coming to you live. Immigration numbers are up. This is Dr. Abdul Saeed. Dr. Abdul Saeed think they need to be retrained. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Double tap hit the like button. Perfect Timing Podcast. Get them likes up. Fuck with the algorithm.
Let's talk about another policy position. And you have called for abolishing ICE. And while you are also advocating for a secure southern border. So how would you address illegal entry into the United States? And do you believe that is an offense that would be subject to deportation? And how would you do that if ICE is no longer functioning as we know it?
Well, as you well know, that is not enforced by ICE. That's enforced by Customs and Border Protection. I'm not calling for the abolition of Customs and Border Protection. I actually think that they need to operate according to the law, but I think we need to be invested in making sure that we secure our southern border rather than this farce of making a show out of detentions with the idea that somehow this is about immigration enforcement. This is not about immigration enforcement. This is about criminalizing immigration on its own terms and making a show of immigration enforcement.
Let's talk about another policy position. And you have called for abolishing ICE. And while you are also advocating for a secure southern border. So how would you address illegal entry into the United States? And do you believe that is an offense that would be subject to deportation? And how would you do that if ICE is no longer functioning as we know it?
Well, as you well know, that is not enforced by ICE. That's enforced by Customs and Border Protection. I'm not calling for the abolition of Customs and Border Protection. I actually think that they need to operate according to the law, but I think we need to be invested in making sure that we secure our southern border rather than this farce of making a show out of detentions with the idea that somehow this is about immigration enforcement. This is not about immigration enforcement. This is about criminalizing immigration on its own terms and making a show of immigration enforcement.
Let's talk about another policy position. And you have called for abolishing ICE.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think he's just doing a lot of double talk. We see in real time what ICE is doing. We see in real time ICE on the scene, a federal operation in Montgomery County. We see in real time what ICE is doing. We see the real effect, the positive numbers, how it affect the job market. Double tap at the like button. Put a 1 in the chat to support ICE. ICE 40,000 arrests in June alone. Over 65,000 incarcerated. Of the 65,000 ICE has in detention, 39,000 are criminals. Double tap at the like button. Tom Holman told you that 80% of the people we are deporting are criminals. Now, how do they know that? How are they finding so many people so quickly? He said 1,200 deported. How you get to 40,000? That's over 1,000 a day. They know where these people are. These people have already seen. Remember the video I play? I'll play that video again. He says she's already been deported once. I've been following her. That's how I know where she is. You think I just showed up in this parking lot? You think I'm just following this woman around? No, that's not what we do. We know who she is. She's seen a deportation judge before. She has what is called as a final deportation order. Under Biden, these people were given dates and time they were supposed to leave the state, and they never left. Biden did not enforce it. He didn't enforce sanctions on Maduro. He didn't enforce sanctions on Iran. He didn't enforce immigration on illegals. Double tap at the like button. ICE on the scene, Montgomery County. Here's how you get to 40,000. ICE on the scene, Montgomery County. ICE on the scene, Montgomery County. We not playing around. ICE on the scene, Montgomery. It's another angle. This another angle. This is a roadblock in Montgomery County. ICE on the scene in Montgomery County. Same thing, another angle. This how we get into the 40,000 numbers. And we know where the concentrated high number areas are because of the immigration courts. We know where when you say ICE being deployed in certain areas, they know where to go. We know where the high concentration numbers are because of the immigration courts. Double tap at the like button. That's why they go to certain areas, because they know where the high numbers are. Double tap at the like button. 40,000 in 1 month. Brand new secretary. He replaced the Christy Noam in the building. Mullen vows to expand ICE enforcement. So while Abu Dhabi is calling for the abolishment, we expanded. And just remind Abu Dhabi that ICE got funded. I think it was 70 billion. Put the number in the chat. ICE is overfunded through 2027. Double tap at the like button.
Let me clarify. When I say turn down the temperature, when I turn down the temperature with you guys, we're turning up the heat on the streets. We're out there working harder than we ever have because we've empowered our law enforcement to do their job. What I'm trying to do is remove us from the headlines every single day. But everybody will be held accountable. I don't pick and choose which laws I'm going to enforce. I enforce our nation's laws. That means I'll enforce it with our own agency, and I'll enforce it with the criminals on the streets. That's my assurance. Yes.
Thank you, Mullen. Thank you, Mullen, out here doing his job. Let's look what ICE got to deal with on a daily basis. This is what ICE got to put up every day. Double tap it. All these white long-haired liberals. Look at it. Look at the ponytail on this guy. Look at the pony on this guy. All these white long-haired liberal hippies, man, still around, man. See him with the long white socks, man. All these. All hippies, man, still out here fucking with people, thinking this is a game to them, man. We got the streets over. Nancy Guthrie got kidnapped. We got the streets overran with cartel. Did y'all see the report with cartels using Uber and Lyft? Cartel is now on the border, forcing Americans to transport drugs and criminals via Uber and Lyft. And they out here. Why don't you go protest something that's going to help Americans, man? And they always got some big brawly brawl. You know what I'm saying? They always got some big brawny brawl. With the F word, right? With the F word. Let's keep going. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement deported David Vargas Rivera, a criminal illegal alien, wanted for what? First, for that M1 in Mexico, and identified as a hitman for Santa Rosa de Lima cartel, a designated foreign terror. But they want to keep him here. They want to keep him here, y'all. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Policeman here, no play. A policeman here, no play. No way. Bad boys. Yeah, man. They would have these people still be here. They would. Suspect says, did you guys see the video of this?
Oh my God.
This is an ex-veteran. He works on Patriot missiles. We just learned this information. So we saw the video earlier this week. What we just learned is this is a 43-year-old. This is the stuff, man. When you guys see the crazy people in the chat, just know the crazy is real. This individual is a 40-something-year-old man, works for the government, a veteran, works on Patriot missiles. And then this is what he did with his free time. He wanted to go to Manhattan, the #1 federal building in the country, the biggest target, and tried to burn down the entrance. A 40-something-year-old man, you guys, who worked for the government, Patriot missiles, and a veteran. Double tap at the like button. Take a look at this guy, man. It's not believable. And y'all want to abolish ICE.
Guys, oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Get away from there! Oh my God, get away from there! No, get away from there! Oh my God! get away. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys.
So he's under arrest. We know who he is now. He's under arrest. 40-something-year-old grown-ass man. He's under arrest now. It's unbelievable that grown-ass man is acting like this, but you can see him in my chat every day. Double tap, hit the like button every day. Every day, he's under arrest, everybody. Purpose Summit Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash, man. We having a good time today, just getting started, man. I need everybody watching right now to hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe. We on the road to 13,000 subscribers, man. 13,000, wow, man. Double tap, hit the like button. We coming to you with this live ICE update, man. I'm coming to you with this live ICE update and day 11 of Iran strikes. Trump escalates after we take on casualties over the weekend. We are in 11 days. Got a fire update video. Got a fire update video on the Iran I want to show with you and share with you. But first, we're going to get in this Iran. First, we're going to get in this ICE coverage, man. Double tap, hit the like button. Got to give you this ICE coverage. Break down to you. ICE doing a big job, man. Doing a great job. ICE out here breaking record numbers, man. ICE arrests Honduran MS-13 gang member Junior Santos. I mean, what would you have? These people would still be walking around free, ladies and gentlemen. If it weren't for ICE, people like this will still be walking around free. I put a one in the chat if you back in ICE and you back in Trump. Double tap it the like button. All we do is win Wednesday. All we do is win. And if you came from MAGA, put your hands in the air. Let them stay there. All we do is win Wednesday. Ice, baby. Too cold. It's like ice, baby. Just go back home. And this is a gorgeous chocolate something on the news. Oh, that MAGA. Oh, that MAGA. Let's listen to this gorgeous chocolate piece of brown sugar. Give us the news. Sugar booger, wugger.
ICE officials arrested an alleged MS-13 terrorist group member. Honduran immigrant Junior Santos Carrasco was arrested for purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that he was in the U.S. Because his father, Pablo Santos Martinez, was involved or was allowed to stay with him under supervision. ICE says the father crossed the border illegally 3 times. Santos Carrasco is waiting for an immigration judge's removal decision, and his father was deported. ICE officials arrested an alleged MS-13 terrorist group member. Honduran immigrant Junior Santos Carrasco was arrested for purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder. U.S. Immigration.
Purse snatching. This is like a petty crime. But you know what I pointed out, chat? You know what I pointed out about this type of individual and this type of crime? Why is he doing it? Because there's no jobs. Think about the numbers and what we're really dealing with. After you get out of your liberal high horse, after you come down from your liberal high horse, what do you do with the 10 to 20 million people that came here during the Biden administration? I mean, honestly, we can't afford them. We can't afford them on Medicaid. We can't afford to put them through the courts. We can't afford them on welfare. So what do we do with them? They're going to be forced to do petty crime against Americans. Did you hear what it said? This is a cartel member who's in America, can't get a job, nowhere to go, and he resorts to stealing purses from women. Is that what you want? They victimizing our women and our children. They're victimizing our women and our children. And it's like, it's elementary to me. I don't think it's because of their race. This is the thing that you don't know about MAGA. I'm tired of people saying that MAGA and Republicans are racist. This is not about his race. I'm breaking down to you math and economics. The economics is if you're not a citizen and there's 10 million people and they're all vying to get the little bit of democratic sanctuary supplemental milk from the teat, it's not enough for all of them, right? So some of them are going to be forced, like this young man, into crime. And he's going to victimize, like they breaking into houses. Nancy Guthrie got kidnapped. They're breaking into houses. And this guy, a cartel member, was stealing purses. Do you carry a purse? Do you know who carries a purse? My wife carries a purse. My daughter carries a purse. Why don't we be honest about what this ICE situation really, truly is? They don't have opportunity here if they can't get jobs, they're going to resort to crime. I don't understand why that's difficult to understand. Everybody can't go to Chicago. All of the 10 to 20 million people that Biden let in won't fit in Democratic sanctuary cities. So the ones who stay are on the border. And this is where you have high crime. Right now, where the crime is escalating is on the border. Border cities like El Paso, border cities like where Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped. This is where the violence is upticking because they're operating on the border. I just said cartel members are now kidnapping Uber drivers to have them do transportation. Because without opportunity, what would you have them do? They gotta eat. They gotta eat. They gotta feed their families. So they're gonna start stealing purses. They're gonna start stealing cars of Americans, and they're gonna look at soft targets. When you steal a purse, you're taking from a woman. Listen to this. I don't think you guys tripped off of it when you heard it. I don't think you tripped off of it when you heard it. You didn't even analyze it like that, did you? When you heard it, you didn't think of it like that. You probably look at how beautiful this is. This is a gorgeous chocolate thing. She's a gorgeous chocolate thing. So you probably didn't even analyze it like I did, right? So let's listen and analyze it. I said these are criminals. It's 10 million of them. Everybody won't get a CDL. So the ones who can't find viable employment will resort to petty crime, and they will look for soft targets. Listen.
Officials arrested an alleged MS-13 terrorist group member. Honduran immigrant Junior Santos Carrasco was arrested for purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that he was in the U.S. Because
purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder. Purse snatching. A cartel member snatching purses, bro. Going after the kids and the women. But y'all don't understand the criminal mind, bro. Y'all don't understand the criminal mind. What would you have him do? He can't get work here. Everybody's not going to get welfare in Chicago and New York, but he still got to eat. This is the mathematics behind these numbers, bro. I wish people would understand what's going on. I wish people would understand what's going on. This is the mathematics behind this stuff. Y'all want to cry, abort ICE, and then what all you're doing is putting people like this on the street.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that he was in the U.S. Because his father, Pablo Santos Martinez, was involved or was allowed to stay with him under supervision. ICE says the father crossed the border illegally 3 times. Santos Carrasco is waiting for an immigration judge's removal decision, and his father was deported.
So wait a minute, you guys. Did y'all really? So the father was here 3 times, illegal reentry. The father was here 3 times. Y'all watching this story? Y'all telling me we don't need ICE? Come on, man. The father came over here 3 times illegally, and somehow Democrats finally found favor on the father, let him stay here, and said, okay, you can bring your criminal son. You can bring your criminal son after you came here 3 times illegally. Then we're going to allow you to bring your criminal son. Listen to this, man. He got here because his dad brought him here, and they allowed him to come here because his dad was here. But we later find out his dad got deported because his dad was here illegally. This could only happen in a Democratic city.
Attempted murder. U.S. Immigration and Customs purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder. U.S. Immigration.
Purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder.
Carrasco was arrested for purse snatching, theft, and attempted murder. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that he was in the U.S. Because his father, Pablo Santos Martinez, was involved or was allowed to stay with him under.
See, he was in the U.S. because his father was here illegally. This don't make no sense. Does it make sense to anybody listening? A cartel member who committed theft and attempted murder was allowed to illegally be in America because his father was here, but we later find out his father. Don't this sound like Ilhan Omar? Ilhan Omar is in the Congress because her father was a naturalized citizen, but we can't find her father's paperwork.
Supervision. ICE says the father crossed the border illegally 3 times. Santos Carrasco is waiting for an immigration judge's removal decision, and his father was deported.
The father crossed the border illegally 3 times, And then this is the thing, you guys. So you get over here. After the third time, you able to build a life, and you bring your son, and then your son goes out and commits a petty crime and attempted murder. And people want to say, have empathy for these people. I don't understand why, man. I don't understand why. You got three times, third time's the chance, and then you bring your son here, and your son goes and robs a woman. Your cartel son robs a woman. Come on, you guys. He robbed a woman who has a purse, bro. Who has a purse? A cartel member in America. You're not doing cartel shit, and instead you're going to be robbing women from their purses, man. That's petty theft, bro. Scaring girls. Come on, man. Ice, ice, baby. Too cold, too cold. It's like ice, ice, baby. Just go back home.
And we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening in Biddeford, Maine. There are growing protests in the street after the second deadly shooting by ICE in a week. Now, a change from the top, ICE pausing most traffic stops as a method of apprehension for now, until agents get increased training on these kinds of stops. According to sources, we're going to dig into exactly what's going on around that today. Homeland Security saying that the officer who opened fire in Maine yesterday was, this is a quote from them, fearing for public safety. We know that there are investigations that are underway right now into exactly what happened. Now, DHS says that last week's deadly shooting in Texas was self-defense after a driver rammed an ICE vehicle with his van. The three passengers say that the officer was not in front of the van. So there is a lot of camera. And we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening in Biddeford, Maine. There are
ICE update, everybody coming to you with the ICE update. Democratic Party is out of touch. Double tap hit the like button. A lot of people feel like the Democratic Party is out of touch. I was talking to you earlier about the DSA. I'm relating the ICE update. I'm relating the ICE update with the DSA as I played the brand new Senate candidate from the Democrats. What was his name? Abdul Zaid, Dr. Abu Dhabi. He's running for Senate. And let's talk about how the Democrats are out of touch. Double tap. And we're going to talk about how this DSA movement is spreading nationwide.
There are a lot of people in America who feel that the Democratic Party is out of touch. We can't be honest about what's going on, with immigration. We don't have a plan for immigration. We're not able to say what actually Democrats should do to fix the problem. All we are is opposition to Trump. Under Biden, we said inflation is not really a big deal. It's transitory. It's going to go away. And then the whole party said, hey, don't worry. Everything's great. Joe is awesome. He can run for re-election. So the point is, we have this history of kind of just like washing over problems and not addressing real concerns that voters have. We got to make sure we don't do that.
Okay, but we've got to make sure. Do you think you're doing that now? Because look no further than a state just north of you, Maine, where I kind of feel like that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that's honest. I mean, to be honest, it's a problem. It's still a problem. There are a lot of people in America who feel that the Democratic Party is out of touch. We can't be honest about what's going on, with immigration. We don't have a plan for immigration. We're not able to say what actually Democrats should do to fix the problem. All we are is opposition to Trump. Under Biden, we said inflation is not really a big deal. It's transitory. It's going to go away. And then the whole party said, hey, don't worry. Everything's great. Joe is awesome. He can run for re-election. So the point is, we have this history of kind of just like washing over problems and not addressing real concerns that voters have. We got to make sure we don't do that.
Okay, but we've got to make sure. Do you think you're doing that now? Because look no further.
No, I don't think they're doing that now. Let's go to the map. So this is the map I wanted to show you guys of the Democratic Socialists. So we've been hearing a lot about New York, right? But I just want to show you guys that the Democratic Socialist movement is not unique to New York. How many people knew that the Democratic Socialists have a platform and they had a plan and a ground game, right? And a lot of us are of older age, right? So we don't pay attention to this stuff, right? So this is the map. You got Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, all on the East Coast, North Carolina, Georgia, Colorado. You may have heard of Colorado recently, Arizona, California, Oregon. And now the thing is that they have so many victories, and this just came without you even knowing it. U.S. Congress, Colorado, New York Assembly, Syracuse, New York City. This is Avila, New York, 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 Utah. I don't think people understood how many people we got. How many people we got? Utah. This is the numbers. Look how many people are part of the Democratic Socialist Party. You thought it was just one person. Chris in Philadelphia, Portland, Tammy, Atlanta, Gabriel Sanchez, Bobby in Phoenix, Arizona. This is a nationwide socialist communist movement to take over the America. Merrick Broderick in Green Mountain, Vermont, and in the most dense, staunch Republican areas, you got the Democratic Socialists popping up. So when we heard about this Democratic Socialist movement, right, and we start talking about it, this is the part that people didn't understand, that this is something that is nationwide. This is something that is nationwide. It says 71 races so far. 71 races, Democratic Socialist DSA. You heard about Mondani in New York. Look how many, let's go to California. You can, and this is an interactive map. So let's go to California, right? This is California, and this is the wins. These people have already won. Democratic Socialists has already won in Los Angeles. This is how many people they got winning in power. 1, 2, 3 Democratic Socialist victories in California and Los Angeles. These are upcoming in November. Mia Vang running as a DSA, Marissa Roy, Jonathan Claudia. So we got 4 or 5 upcoming. That's in California alone. That's in California alone. This is the DSA map. In New York, this the people. This is the lady that I played yesterday. Alvila Daria. She's the one that's famous for saying no more deportations, even if the person committed a murder. This is the one. Zondani Mondani backed her. She's going for Congress, national fame in the House. And you got Claire, Elon. These are all of the Democratic Socialists in New York. Let's go to the Midwest, to that guy. We just saw that guy. He's running. They don't have him up here right here, Colorado, and that's the win. So these are all people who have won. Georgia, 2 Democratic Socialists. How many people knew that the Democratic Socialists are nationwide and they had so many victories? You heard about New York, right? I think you purposely heard about New York. I think they purposely made you listen to about New York so they could distract you from what's going on nationwide. This is a nationwide takeover of the Democratic Party. Double tap hit the like button. Is everybody understanding? We're doing some education today. This is a nationwide takeover of the Democratic Party. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? This is a nationwide, and they've been hyper-focusing you on Zohrani Mondani without you knowing that the DSA is coming to take over the Democratic Party. And I think when yesterday when I talked about Van Jones, I think the part that I left out is that this happened before Van Jones brought up the Tea Party. I actually was upset with Van Jones for bringing up the Tea Party. Now I take back some of my my emotional reaction to Van Jones, because the thing that I will say about the DSA movement, like the Tea Party, is that quietly people don't understand how powerful the DSA movement has become within the DNC. Double tap hit the like button. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the same thing was true for the Tea Party. I don't think people truly understand how powerful the DSA has become in the DNC. I think the fact that we're even talking about it, I think the fact that we even know what the DSA is should be letting us know how powerful and influential this branch is of the Democratic Party, right? So let's take a look. Let's take a look at Mondani and just giving some people some facts. Double tap the like button.
When we're talking about immigration enforcement, I think that it should be humane. I talk about our pride in being a sanctuary city in terms of the policies that we practice. I'll give you an example of those policies. We are willing to work with the federal government on more than 170 serious crimes if someone has been convicted of them. What we are unwilling to do is to participate in civil immigration enforcement with a federal government that has said openly it wants to deport a vast majority of people for crimes that we will never even know. That is where I think I see the tension.
Have you ever been to the U.S.-Mexico border?
No. When we're talking about immigration enforcement, I think that it should be humane. I talk about our pride in being a sanctuary city in terms of the policies that we practice. I'll give you an example of those policies. We are willing to work with the federal government on more than 170 serious crimes if someone has been convicted of them. What we are unwilling to do.
Is that how the Constitution is written and you understand it, everybody? This is the thing that we should be having. He says it real slow, so you think he's saying something correct. Is that the way the Constitution works? If someone breaks the law, do you get to pick and choose what crimes because you've been mayor for 5 months? He hasn't been mayor 5 minutes, you guys. He hasn't been mayor 5 minutes. This is not somebody who was born and raised in America. These are these implants, and he's trying to tell you what laws he will enforce and what laws he won't enforce. I'm just asking the question, is that the way the Constitution works? I don't know it to work that way. I guess Zerani is some type of superhero that he's going to just do whatever he want to do. He can interpret the law the way he wants to interpret the law. I didn't know it worked that way, that he will only enforce certain, and then the other crimes that are actually breaking the law, which are crimes, you just not going to count them. At least Gavin Newsom created a law that said you can steal up to $1,000. Just do that. He's not even doing that because he's not born in America. He don't know what he's doing. He's just saying Gavin Newsom created a law in California that said you can steal up to $1,000. Right? And we're not going to prosecute you. And states like Illinois, the Illinois governor, and St. Louis, they created laws and systems that say we will forgive certain misdemeanors. In California and certain Democratic states, because they're overcrowded, let's just be honest, the socialist experiment doesn't work. So let's just be honest about why these things are happening. Places like Chicago and New York are broke, right? Places like Chicago and New York are broke, right? So they changed the laws, and things that used to be felonies are no longer felonies, they're misdemeanors, and they bumping up things to where only severe, serious things are considered felonies, right? And everything else is a misdemeanor, and they drop the charges. That's why in these cities, this is where angel families come from, where you learn about a young, beautiful lady who was attacked by someone who got arrested so many times. And you may be in a red state and you say to yourself, well, that doesn't make sense. How can someone get arrested so many times? You don't know that part of BLM and defund police policies where places in California, Illinois change felonies to misdemeanors. So a lot of these people get arrested for things that is a felony in your state, but it's a misdemeanor in Illinois and California. They get right back out of jail. So what Madani is saying is that he's going to do the same thing as California, Illinois, and then create a more crime-ridden environment for the American citizen. Because what it does is it allows illegal aliens to commit heinous, felonious crimes that are now seen as misdemeanors and go right back on the street. And then you have to live with these criminals. Double tap at the like, but I don't think you understand what's going on. And then you have to live with these criminals. He's making it sound nice, right? He said, we will only look at certain felonies and important crimes, but then they change how they structure the crime. And the result is you have to live amongst criminals who are not even citizens, who are not incentivized to not break the law because they're not going to jail if they break the law. Double tap. Let's listen again and let me see if you can hear what I hear.
When we're
Do you hear what I hear?
talking about immigration enforcement, I think that it should be humane. I talk about our pride in being a sanctuary city in terms of the policies that we practice. I'll give you an example of those policies. We are willing to work with the federal government on more than 170 serious crimes if someone has been convicted of them. What we are unwilling to do is to participate in civil immigration enforcement with a federal government that has said openly it wants to deport a vast majority of people for crimes that we will never even know. That is where I think I see the tension.
Have you ever been to the U.S.-Mexico border?
No. When we're talking about immigration enforcement, I think that it should be humane.
What he's saying is you're going to have to live with these criminals. Do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand that's what he's saying? You got to live with these criminals now. because I'm not going to consider all of the crimes that they commit crimes. I'm going to let them go free, and then you have to live with the criminal. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. And then because he says it so sweet and so nice, you think he's doing you a favor. Oh, he's not going to be bad on crime. He's going to do this. He's going to do no. What he is saying is people will be committing crimes, right? Because like I said, there's not anywhere for them to work, right? There's not anywhere for them to go, right? So people going to be committing crimes, right? He said we're not going to consider all of them crimes. We're going to let them go back home, and we're not going to deport them. If they're not crimes and they committing them and they're not citizens, but we're not going to deport them, then you're saying you're going to make me live around illegal criminals who have no incentive not to commit a crime against me. Double tap. Then you're going to make me live amongst criminals. You're going to make me live amongst criminals. Is that what you said? Breaking U.S. appeals court sides with Trump and ICE. The Second Circuit has vacated an activist judge ruling forcing the release of anti-American writer Musam Madawi from ICE custody, finding the judge lacked jurisdiction. Madawi, one of the architects of Columbia University riots, will likely be remanded as his case goes through immigration courts. Send him back to Palestine. Double tap, hit the like button. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news coming in right now.
United, will never be defeated. Stop! Please remove yourself from immediate harm. I can't help with that. You guys can help with that.
You gotta flip it, I think.
Yeah. The tie's on there. Okay. You tie it right to the log. Okay, let's give them a little cover. Camera's back. Camera's back. Guys, my team. Come on, link arms. We need more people.
My phone died.
Make sure we...
I think I saw on my phone before it died was Trump is
Should he be arrested? I think he should be deported. Should he be put a one in the chat if they should be all to be deported? Put a one in the chat if you think they all should be deported. ICE doing their job, 43,000 in 1 month.
Declassification of documents from our intelligence community. That's what he put out. He declassified intelligence assessments from our intelligence community. But your question was about communist influence. Yeah, the United States doesn't want to be a communist country. We're never going to be a communist country, and we're not going to allow communist influences to undermine our politics or our society. So I don't know what the inconsistency you're referring to is. It's very clear. Obviously we understand the Chinese system and other systems, but I can tell you our system doesn't want communism. And we're certainly not going to allow communist efforts to undermine American society and drive wedges into our country. And that's what we're seeing. And by the way, one of the leading, culprits of that for many years, the intellectual authors, particularly in our hemisphere, is the Cuban regime, which our report on Monday outlined. Well, again, what the president put out on Thursday, that was
Marco Rubio talking about Cuba and communism spreading in the country. And I just put up the map of the DSA all over the nation. Double tap the like button. Get the likes up, everybody.
The declassification of documents from our intelligence community. That's what he put out. He declassified intelligence assessments from our intelligence community. But your question was about communist influence. Yeah, the United States doesn't want to be a communist country. We're never going to be a communist country, and we're not going to allow communist influences to undermine our politics or our society. So I don't know what the inconsistency you're referring to is. It's very clear. Obviously we understand the Chinese system and other systems, but I can tell you our system doesn't want communism, and we're certainly not going to allow communist efforts to undermine American society and drive wedges into our country, and that's what we're seeing. And by the way, one of the leading, culprits of that for many years, the intellectual authors, particularly in our hemisphere, is the Cuban regime, which our report on Monday outlined. Well, again,
Marco Rubio Vance 2028, put it in the chat. Marco Rubio Vance 2028, put it in the chat. Marco Rubio Vance 2028, put it in the chat. Coming in fast with that ICE update. Let's y'all. Iran day 11. What's up? Y'all ready to do Iran day 11? Double tap at the like button, man. We gotta get some more people in here and get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Everybody watching right now, hit the like button, subscribe, man. And we're gonna get into the Iran update. Marco Rubio, JD Vance. Who can the Democrats put up, man? I mean, realistically, who can the Democrats put up? Them boys is doing too good, man. To that, we always say, we be saying Trump 2026, Trump 2028. Today is all we do is win. And if you came for MAGA, put your hands in the air, let them stay there. All we do is win Wednesday, man. All we do is win. And if you came for MAGA, put your hands in the air, let them stay there. Double tap at the like button. First on podcast, number 1 in the YouTube airspace for political and geopolitical debate. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you to YouTube, man. Number 1 podcast on YouTube. Number 1 podcast on YouTube. We're getting into it right now, having a conversation, man, about this geopolitical climate out here. Double tap at the like button as you come in right now, man. Get the likes up. CNN analyst highlights Trump's record high GOP approval in second term. I said Trump is the best president of your lifetime. I said people. A lot of the people on my channel right now, we got a lot of good people in the chat right now. Let's get a W chat right now. Can I get a W chat? Number 1 chat on YouTube. There's a lot of intelligent people who watch the show, man. And I want to say thank you to all the intelligent people who watch the show, man. What I did, because a lot of you guys, you come in, and I know you be busy, man. A lot of the people who got the good mind and the good intellect, y'all be busy, man. Y'all be having good lives, man. I saw a video today where it's a black woman, and she was saying how she had a good interaction with a person with a red MAGA hat. And the guy said, you should come to a Republican rally. You will be respected. It's not the same on the left. If someone with the MAGA hat walks into a Democratic rally, they probably would get beat up. But Republicans are not violent, man. Most of us believe in God, believe in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Believe in repentance. So you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that judgment off the top. And when you talk about what a lame duck, so a lot of you are new here, right? And one of the things I've talked about, and I taught my audience, is what a lame duck president is. Because you got to think about it. A lot of the people who are the purple hair protesters and the liberals who are chanting abolish ICE, these are young people, right? These are young people who have been susceptible by the propaganda, right? And they don't understand and they don't know what actually a lame duck. For a lot of them, Donald Trump has been like the first and second, third president in their life. Think about it. If they 20-something years old, especially if they had to live through the pandemic, they haven't dealt with a lot of presidents, right? They haven't dealt with a lot of presidents. So they don't understand what a lame duck president is. So I broke it down to them because a lot of them love Barack Obama. And I said, Barack Obama was a lame duck president. You know what I'm saying? Mitch McConnell stalled Barack Obama in the second term. In fact, the reason why we have the Supreme Court that we have now is because, drum roll, please, Barack Obama was a lame duck president. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump passed the big, beautiful bill in his second term. You haven't seen a president like that. You haven't seen a president with the ability to pass the big, beautiful bill in the second term, like a biggest legislation that a lot of you have seen in your lifetime. So Donald Trump is completely adjacent to what a lame duck president is. If you go back to Bill Clinton also, he was under impeachment in his second term. George Bush had occupied Wall Street and the war. So George Bush, again, stifled in his second term. This is the first time in recent American history you see a president who's gotten a second term. Joe Biden didn't even get a second term. Can we just be honest? We got to talk about the presidents who got 2 terms. So George Bush got 2 terms, but he was stifled in his second term. Bill Clinton got 2 terms, but he was stifled by the Monica Lewinsky impeachment. Remember, Bill Clinton cheated on his wife in the White House. Double tap, hit the like button. Bill Clinton cheated on his wife in the White House. So he got impeached in his second term. That's a lame duck president. Barack Obama was stifled by Mitch McConnell and lost the Supreme Court nomination. Does anybody remember politics at all? The reason we have a conservative court is because Barack Obama was a lame duck president. Double tap. Barack Obama was a lame duck. George Bush was a lame duck. Bill Clinton was a lame duck. Donald Trump is the first president of the modern era that's not a lame duck president. How do I say that? We can look at Venezuela. We can look at the invasion of Venezuela to capture Maduro. We can look at Iran, the Straits of Hormuz. We can look at the tariffs. But I like to point to the big, beautiful bill. I like to point because this is actual a law. Legislation passed in the law. The largest tax cuts, the largest bill like this since like the 80s. $1 billion, $1 trillion legislation. And then you know what's so beautiful about the big, beautiful bill? Is that these tax cuts were from Donald Trump's first term. That even bolsters my claim that Donald Trump is not a lame duck president, because in his second term, he was able to make permanent tax cuts from the first term. That's not a lame duck. Now, what else is so beautiful about it is that in between Donald Trump's 2 terms, you have a Democratic term by Sleepy Joe Let's Go Brandon, and he kept Donald Trump tax cuts. This is something that the Democrats never talk about when they have debates. Donald Trump put forth tax cuts in his first term. You elected Joe Biden. Joe Biden had a chance to stop the Trump tax cuts. Instead, he let them roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them tax cuts rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Tax cuts. So that's why Donald Trump was able to make them permanent via the big, beautiful bill so easily, because they had never left. And this is why the Democrats did not fight the big, beautiful bill. We never truly discuss it. Do you notice you never hear about the big, beautiful bill now? Because they would have to be honest about what I'm telling you now. This is why I called out Jasmine Crockett. This is why I called out AOC. I said, do you know why these millionaires, this is why I called out Nancy Pelosi. There's provisions in the big, beautiful bill about not only about tax cuts for the rich, but provisions about what's the name when they die and the money and everything, how they can keep more of their money. So that's why Nancy Pelosi worth $400 million, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, all these multi-millionaire Democrats wanted to keep the tax cuts. We never talk about the big, beautiful bill. Why the Democrats didn't fight it? Because most of your Democrats are elite. Most of your Democrats are elite millionaires, and they benefit from the Trump. Remember Donald Trump debating Hillary Clinton? And Hillary Clinton said, you don't pay no tax. Donald Trump said, you don't either. And you can change the tax code, but you won't, because you benefit from the same tax breaks as me. Hillary Clinton tried to get Donald Trump and said, you don't pay no, you don't either. You don't pay no taxes either. And you could have changed it, but you don't want to change it because you benefit from the same tax breaks that I benefit from. That was made true again with the big, beautiful bill. See, you don't want to change it, Democrats. You didn't want to fight the big, beautiful bill. You just wanted the fall guy. Nancy Pelosi wanted those tax cuts. Ro Khanna wanted those tax cuts, but they needed a fall guy. None of them are on the record fighting the big, beautiful bill. The big, beautiful bill went through like butter. Donald Trump, Supreme Court appointed. Everything Donald Trump is doing is going through like butter. No one fought the big, beautiful bill. They wanted the tax cuts. They just needed a fall guy. They wanted the tax cuts. They just needed a fall guy. CNN analyst highlights Trump's record high GOP approval. Record high GOP approval in the second term. Double tap at the like button. Eden compared Trump's 83% GOP approval to George Bush's 78% and Barack Obama's 76%, calling it his magic touch amid strong influence in Republican primaries, like his endorsement of Senator Darlene Graham in South Carolina, while Trump's overall approval sits at 37%, with independents at 30%. His backers have 100% of non-incumbent Senate primaries this year. The stat highlights his firm grip on the party base, even as broader challenges like the Iran war and economy persist. CNN analyst highlights Trump record high GOP second term. Double tap at the like button. More evidence. Y'all don't know what a lame duck looks like, and it's not Donald Trump. Double tap at the like button.
Okay. 21st century own party approval rating about at this point in the second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch. We'll see if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that's because he is still a very popular man, historically popular. Okay, 21st century own party approval rating about at this point in the second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch. We'll see if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that's because he is still a very popular man, historically popular. Okay, 21st century.
Historically popular. Number one popularity in America, the most popular second-term president. The most popular second-term president. These are numbers you can't get away from, Democrats. This is why we so bullish on 2026. This is why we so bullish on 2028. Donald Trump had to repost it himself. Donald Trump had to repost it himself. Donald Trump said these numbers so good.
Time in and time out, no matter
what. Repost it again, man. Donald Trump said, and then keep in mind, Bush and Obama, as we look at this story, man, this is going viral right now.
Fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you.
One thing to keep in mind with this table and popularity is that Bush and Obama did not have the Iran war. Trump right now with this popularity number, this is after Venezuela invasions. This is after Trump tariffs. He just launched 50% tariffs on Canada. He said he stopped trading with Spain. He shut down the USAID, shut down the Department of Education. He's shutting down talks with the UN and NATO. And we're in the Straits of HORMUZ blocking oil for China and some of our best allies. And yet and still, Donald Trump has a higher approval rating of both of these second-term presidents. So I think these numbers should be put in context. I don't think CNN is going to do it. I don't think CNN is going to give us the proper context, but I'm going to give you the proper context of what is happening right now with this 83%. It's not just 83%. It's 83% why the Straits of HORMUZ are in a blockade. It's 83% why Cuba has been in an embargo for 4 months, while hospitals in Cuba can't even deliver babies. This is 83% with us invading Venezuela and capturing the president of Venezuela, invading South America. You know what I like to say about Venezuela that people don't understand about Venezuela? Venezuela is in South America. I don't think it's talked about enough. I think people think Venezuela is in Mexico or in North America. No, Venezuela is in South America. We invaded South America, a South American sovereign country, and captured the president and brought him back without any casualties. Double tap at the like button. This 83% is with Venezuela. This 83% is with Cuba. This 83% is with tariffs. Can we have a real talk? This 83%, better than Obama, better than Bush, is including tariffs. So he's not going to give you the context because he's on CNN. He's forced to give you the truth. But the context is this is despite everything that they've told you and why they say people hate Trump. He has better numbers than Bush and Obama. Double tap at the like button.
21st century own party approval rating about at this point in the second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch. We'll see if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that's because he is still a very popular man, historically popular when it comes to his own party liking and approving of the job that he's doing. So it was 21st century own party approval rating about at this point in the second
context. That's 21st, that's the context. So we going forward, man, with this Iran update. Double tap at the like button. We going forward with this Iran update. We in day 11, and now we getting into the money, man. Now people are trying to come at it from a different angle. They want to talk about the money as we get into the day 11 of Iran strike. So where we at with Iran right now? Double tap at the like button. So with Iran broke the MOU. Iran broke the ceasefire. Iran broke the MOU. Iran broke the ceasefire. Iran had requested that we give them Iran had requested that we give them a break because they wanted to have a funeral. They wanted to bury Ayatollah Khomeini. Now, Trump says, and this was being disputed and refuted by liberal media outlets, Trump has said for months now that we took out the whole top leadership of the IRGC. People laughed at that. Come to find out, Trump was not lying. We took out the whole top brass, the whole top leadership of the IRGC. Double tap at the like button. They have a funeral. They asked for a funeral. Then they asked for 9 days to mourn. They have a funeral. Then they ask for 9 days to mourn. And then they break the ceasefire. They break the MOU. They break the ceasefire. They break the MOU. And then they emotionally, right? They have this funeral, they start crying. The thing that I didn't like about the whole thing is that you see this emotional response from the Iranians, but they knew Ayatollah had been dead for 4 months. I thought that was kind of performative, right? Let me know how you feel about that in the chat. They hold a funeral for a man who's been dead for 4 months. They have this emotional outcry. At the funeral, they say death to Trump. They say death to America. Trump is in Turkey when they hold the funeral. Trump gives them permission. He gives them permission to have the 9-day mourning period. You know what they do instead of having a 9-day mourning period? They try to assassinate Donald Trump while in Turkey at the NATO summit, and then they start bombing commercial ships. So Iran breaks the ceasefire. Iran breaks the MOU. After they break the ceasefire, break the MOU, Trump and the Americans start bombing. We're in day 11. We're in day 11. We're in day 11 of bombing in Iran. Double tap at the like button, everybody watching right now. We in day 11. I'm coming to you with your live Iran update. Let's go, baby, right now. Tap in. Perfect Time Podcast.
$37 billion. That's the bill for 11 days of bombing Iran. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put the number out himself. More than 37 billion. And the strikes haven't stopped. Day 11 and counting. For scale, that's over 3 billion a day, which is roughly what some countries spend on defense in a year. The Pentagon doesn't usually volunteer price tags mid-campaign, so either someone's building a case for more funding, or someone's preparing the public for how long this goes. Because that's the real question, isn't it? 11 straight days is no longer a strike, it's a campaign. And campaigns at 3 billion a day don't wind down quietly. Congress will want answers, and taxpayers will want a receipt. So here's mine. US strikes on Iran continue into a third straight week. Hit or miss. This is Sarah White, reporting for hit.com. $37 billion. That's the bill for 11 days of bombing Iran.
$37 billion, 11 days of bombing Iran. Double tap at the like button. This is the Iran update right now. We've been there 11 days. Hegseth clashes with Democrats over $67 billion Iran war funding. Come on in, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the war. Hegseth clashes with Democrats over $67 billion Iran war funding. Y'all, let's have a discussion right now. Let's get into our Iran update. Double tap at the like button. Engage with the chat right now. Do we have a gift right now? Let's get the gifts going. Let's get the super chats going, everybody. Let's get the gifts going. Let's get the super chats going. It's all we do is win Wednesday, MAGA Wednesday. Y'all know what we do on this MAGA Wednesday. Let me get this goal in the chat right now. Let's get the super chat goal. We'll get a super chat goal first, right? And we're gonna do a membership only live and a membership gift for everybody if we meet the goal on the super chats. And then we're gonna do a gift goal. And everybody, as you come in, y'all hitting the like button. Thank you for hitting the like button. And I see everybody. I need you to vote in the poll. I see everybody out there. Vote in the poll. Hit the like button. And those of you of like-minded, hit the share and share it on your Facebook and your X account with a like-minded individual, somebody who supports and loves America and loves God. Double tap. Lorenzo Powell sent a gold coin. Hey, everybody give it up for Lorenzo. Sitting on Lorenzo's. Double tap at the like button, everybody. Sitting on Lorenzo's. Double tap at the like button, everybody, for sending that gold coin, man. That's what we need to do, man. Get the likes up, get the support up, man. Let them know the conservatives is in the building, man. Let them know the Republicans is in the building, man. Let them know Trump is in the building, man. Number one second-term president, man. Number one second term, man. Marco Rubio, JD Vance is about to slide into the White House, man, and we're going to be right there the whole way. It's MAGA 2026. It's MAGA 2028. And this is the thing that why we're showing the DSA, it's a lot to unpack about the DSA and Van Jones. When we say Marco Rubio and JD Vance 2028, when Donald Trump came out and supported him and he put out his book, the country didn't know about this rift in the Democratic Party. Now think about this, the Democrats did. The Democrats knew that they were having these issues and that there was this separation occurring and they couldn't do anything about it. And a lot of times when I've been discussing Marco Rubio and JD Vance, I've been saying, who's the Democrats candidate? It's kind of late for them to put forth a candidate. The candidate is going to be the same thing as Kamala. They're not going to have enough time to run, right? If they had a presidential candidate, you would know it by now. But you guys, doesn't it make sense now? Doesn't it make sense now why we haven't seen who the Democrats and the DNC is going to put up for president? Because they have a problem. They don't have a party right now. They are in an infight right now. And so they don't know who they're going to have run for president because they don't know who their party is. You got the DSA, and then you got the DSA, and then you got the DSA, and then you got the DNC. And Van Jones just came out the other day and said there's a big difference between the DSA and the DNC. I mean, so now it makes sense when I say there's no clear direction, there's no clear leadership. Now we see there's no clear direction because the DSA has a different platform. Right? There's dueling platforms in the Democratic Party right now. The DSA has a different platform than the DNC, and they're telling you they want to take over power companies, they want to take over water, they want a billionaire tax, they want to take over housing. The DNC has a different platform and agenda than the DSA. So there's a split in the Democratic Party, which is why we don't see a clear, defined leader. Everybody should pay attention and see who they prop up. Because remember when they had that guy Planter, this guy had a Nazi tattoo and he was accused of raping multiple people, right? He was accused of raping multiple people. So let's see who they prop up, right? Let's see who they prop up. And we haven't seen anybody yet. And Democrats are finally coming out saying, we can't win on Trump hate. Democrats are finally coming out saying we can't win on Trump hate. We understand people may not like Trump, but that's not going to do it. And especially with Trump's popularity numbers, who do we have and what policy do we have to run against Trump and the Republicans? That's what it's coming down to. And what you notice in the chat is they don't have a policy. They have ad hominem attacks, right? They have put downs, but they don't have policy, right? Double tap at the like button. It's not. It's double tapping the like button. Let's keep going. Hegseth defended an emergency $67 billion request to sustain U.S. military operations, including nightly strikes on Iran targets, disrupting the Strait of Hormuz. The conflict stems from Operation Epic Fury, launched in February 2026 against Iran nuclear sites. The leadership, with the brief ceasefire now broken amid renewed threats, exchanges grew heated, with Hegseth accusing senators of neglecting troops while they pressed him on the war's progress. His past claims of Iran's military being destroyed, protesters interrupted, repeatedly calling actions illegal. Double tapping the like button. Pete Hegseth, baby, Department of War on Capitol Hill. Pete Hegseth, these are the real facts. Report them. I'll report them, Donald Trump. That's what we do here, is we report Trump news. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo blows, giving Democrats the boo blows. I reported Donald Trump, man. We going in, man. We going in. Double tapping the like button. Donald Trump said, report, these are the real facts. Report them. Other presidents, Trump. Vietnam War, 58,000 dead. Korean War, 36,000 dead, 3 years. Vietnam War, 19 years. Iraq War, 9 years, 4,000 dead. Afghanistan War, 20 years. I told you he was in the war 20 years, 2,000 dead. Iran military conflict, not a war, 4 months, 18 dead. Venezuela war, 1 day, 0 dead. Double tap, hit the like button. This is the Donald Trump numbers. This is the Trump effect. This is the Donald Trump numbers. This is the Trump effect. Double tap, hit the like button, man. We going in, man. We going in. Yes, sir. Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill talking about Iran and the billions of dollars requested. Remember the video I just played? Remember the video I just played on the Iran update? Hold on. Let's go back to this video. Before we go to Pete Hegseth, listen to this. Listen to this, and then we're going to go to Pete Hegseth talking about the money on Capitol Hill. Listen to this.
$37 billion. That's the bill for 11 days of bombing Iran. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put the number out himself. More than $37 billion. And the strikes haven't stopped. Day 11 and counting. For scale, that's over $3 billion a day, which is roughly what some countries spend on defense in a year. The Pentagon doesn't usually volunteer price tags mid-campaign, so either someone's building a case for more funding, or someone's preparing the public for how long this goes. Because that's the real question, isn't it? 11 straight days is no longer a strike, it's a campaign. And campaigns at $3 billion a day don't wind down quietly. Congress will want answers, and taxpayers will want a receipt. So here's mine. US strikes on Iran continue into a third straight week. Hit or miss. This is Sarah White, reporting for hit.com. $37 billion. That's the bill for 11 days of bombing Iran. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put the number out himself. More than $37 billion. And the strikes haven't stopped. Day 11 and counting. For scale, that's over $3 billion a day.
So Pete Hegseth, that's how much that's the numbers. Let's Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill about the numbers. Iran day 11. You heard it, $37 billion so far on bombing Iran for 11 days, $3 billion a day. Somebody said we was going to run out of bombs and run out of money. We ain't ran out yet. Double tap at the like button.
We've been completely aware that the Strait of Hormuz could be closed, and obviously sinking their ships has not affected their ability to effectively close the straits.
We had U.S. boats that surrendered to Iranian ships under the Biden administration. So their Navy was effective in expeditionary
we're
ways
talking about a war you started, not a situation in which oil was flowing freely. There was no conflict. We weren't losing personnel as a result of Iranian actions. So your fallback to the Biden administration is just a very, very obvious excuse for what I think is probably, as you described so often, gross negligence. You did not fully inform the president that you would be in a situation where the Strait of Hormuz could be effectively closed, oil prices could surge, and effectively the Iranians could maintain their ability to strike back as they are right now. They just killed some of my servicemen last weekend.
What y'all think? Pete XF on Capitol Hill talking about the Iran conflict and the billions of dollars spent so far. Double tap the like button. Double tap the like button. Let's keep going.
Women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership. When will you show leadership? When will you show
Why don't you show some leadership and stand up to your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops, who stand and play partisan politics while you don't give us the money? You want to stand up here and talk about the troops? You won't show any political courage to actually fund our department.
Amen. Amen.
Syndrome
Amen.
And actually commit to anything meaningful. So I put this on you, Senator.
Secretary Hegseth, you have trillions. You have over $1 trillion you're asking for the war. The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership. When will you show leadership? When will you show
Why don't you show some leadership and stand up to your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops, who stand and play partisan politics while you don't give us the money? You want to stand up here and talk about the troops? You won't show any political courage to actually fund our department because you have Trump derangement syndrome and can't actually commit to anything meaningful. So I put this on you, Senator.
Secretary Hegseth, you have trillions. You have over $1 trillion you're asking for.
I'll put it on him too.
The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership.
It's this performative bullshit. This performative bullshit. I'm tired of this performative bullshit. Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill fighting for our troops. Double tap at the like button.
This is rebuilding our military from what was not funded in the past under the Biden administration. So this is from 2026, one big beautiful bill, which helped move the president's priorities like Golden Dome for America, move away from all the woke priorities of what the Biden administration was pursuing, give us a chance to start cutting these deals on munitions, all the things that the president wanted us to focus on: shipbuilding, hypersonics. I mean, the Biden administration ignored hypersonics. They just decided to pretend like that technology didn't exist and we shouldn't invest in it. There are things, I don't know what Lloyd Austin did for 4 years. I really don't. Well, sure the amount of neglect, the amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy, it was staggering when we took over. So one big beautiful bill gave us a chance to get caught back up.
Let me interrupt your speech for a minute, Mr. Secretary. It's my turn to ask questions.
This is rebuilding our military from what was not funded in the past under the Biden administration. So this is from 2026, one big beautiful bill, which helped move the president's priorities like Golden Dome for America, move away from all the woke priorities of what the Biden administration was pursuing, give us a chance to start cutting these deals on munitions, all the things that the president wanted us to focus on: shipbuilding, hypersonics. I mean, the Biden administration ignored hypersonics. They just decided to pretend like that technology didn't exist and we shouldn't invest in it. There are things, I don't know what Lloyd Austin did for 4 years. I really don't. Well, sure the amount of neglect, the amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy, it was staggering when we took over. So one big beautiful bill gave us a chance to get caught back up.
Let me interrupt your speech for a minute, Mr. Secretary. It's my turn to ask questions.
You were
this is rebuilding.
You were asleep. Pete Hegseth doing his thing on Capitol Hill. Pete Hegseth doing his thing on Capitol Hill, representing for the administration. Double tap at the like button. This is my brother from another mother, Day 11. Jesse, how you doing, Jesse? Give us an update. Day 11 in Iran. Give us that good update.
Fox News alert, it's on. U.S. Central Command launching crippling strikes against Iran. Command centers, missile and drone launch sites, and air defense systems wiped out along the coastline. This new offensive aimed at pushing back what's left of the enemy's firepower far away from reaching the Strait. The commander-in-chief now calling his shots, like the Babe.
How about these people? They're in this because of nuclear weapons, and they're trying to possibly reconstitute a site. We'll hit that site. Any site where they're even thinking about nuclear, we'll be hitting it very, very powerfully.
Pickaxe Mountains in the crosshairs. The Israelis are leaking to the media that the Iranians moved centrifuges under the mountain after Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their 3 main sites, AKA it's their little plan B, like 3-card Monte, if they ever get their hands on more uranium.
Do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain?
It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it.
The nuclear dusk has been buried. Their nuclear program's over. So what are they doing in an underground lair? And why is it 6,000 feet deep?
Do we have the ability to destroy
whatever is underneath Pickaxe Mountain?
Senator, a lot of our capabilities are classified, but if anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military, the most powerful military in the world. It's all about options and trade-offs.
The option on the president's desk right now is an all-out war. That would include Pickaxe. Sources say Israel would come in to help deliver the final blow. The Israelis are already on high alert and preparing to go full scale. F-16s and F-35s are moving into theater, and refueling planes are being pre-positioned. The Iranians say they still want to negotiate, but talks are off. The United States says they're not coming back into the table until the Iranians show they're serious.
Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate, to show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said, 10 times harder, which every night we're degrading them further and further. And the president has all the options necessary. If they want to talk, they can talk. Otherwise, they can deal with the War Department.
The other option on the table, a 10-day ceasefire, a cooling off period, which the Iranians desperately need.
Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. Why, do you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and kill Americans.
You don't know what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station.
While we're dropping bombs, the commander-in-chief's playing diplomat. The president's peeling Lebanon away from the gay Ayatollah. The Lebanese president visited the White House today. It was the first time in 15 years. It was quite chummy.
Mr. President, it's an honor having you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I've been looking forward to this visit for a long time.
Thank you very much.
Meeting such a great president like yourself.
That's a very nice thing. See, he knows how to get to me. He can have anything.
Trump shattered the entire network of Iranian alliances. The War Department is looking to train, equip, and vet elite army units in Lebanon to go in and purge and disarm Hezbollah for good. This keeps Israel from having to do the dirty work, which Lebanon likes quite a bit. And it could even bring Lebanon into the Abraham Accords. Iran's other proxies, the Houthis, could set up their own blockade in the Red Sea. Now, that's another key choke point like HORMUZ. Shipping goes north and south through the Mediterranean, connecting Europe to the Middle East and Asia. Iran's trying to terrorize the main artery of world trade. Now, if the Houthis get frisky, there could be trouble.
What is your level of concern of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front in the war?
See what happens. So far, it hasn't happened, might happen. But we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it.
The U.S. Navy will keep the oil flowing and protected from piracy. Over 500 million barrels of oil sailed right under the nose of Iran during Project Freedom. And we have bases on the Horn of Africa ready to do their duty. Hegseth testified today that we are in total control of traffic. Our guided missile destroyers, like the USS Mason, continue to sail the seas, and morale on board sky high. Iran's terrorizing the Strait because it's their only leverage. But they're going to lose that leverage, not just because of U.S. air power, but because Gulf countries are skipping the Strait. Iraq just visited the White House, and they signed off on Chevron finishing a pipeline from Baghdad to Syria into the Mediterranean. Iran won't be able to clip any tankers because the tankers will be off the coast of Greece. Chevron's also going to drill, baby, drill in southern Iraq. And ConocoPhillips just took a huge stake in Iraqi oil. Remember Trump said we should have taken the oil? Well, there you go. Starlink is going to start operating in Iraq. Even JP Morgan is going to open a Baghdad branch. Those deals are worth $60 billion. So we've pulled Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon away from the mullahs. And we're selling the Arabs $2 trillion in AI, plus weapons. Russia and China aren't even in the sandbox. The president setting the table. And now the Iranian economy is on the brink.
We have found the money man for the Ayatollah, and we hope to soon be able to print his $100 million plus properties and show the addresses. Their currency has collapsed. It is at an all-time low versus the dollar. It's in free fall. And we think the inflation rate is upwards of 180%.
Iran sugar daddy, China, alligator arms. Crude purchases down 4.
America doesn't want the straits open. There's this contrived argument on CNN that I believe this is part of the 4D chess. With the straits being closed, Iran is dealing with severe inflation. You heard the secretary just say 180% inflation. I have spoken to you numerous times about the bread lines and the inability of Iran to get wheat in from Russia. When you hear about the Houthis in the Red Sea and you hear about Hezbollah, what you need to understand about these proxies, this is prohibiting Iran from feeding its people. The secretary also stated that soldiers are in bread lines and soldiers haven't been paid for months. This is the reality on the ground. The embargo on Cuba is working, and the blockade of the Straits of Hormuz is effectively an embargo on Iran that is prohibiting them from getting in goods like wheat, goods like saline, goods like antibiotics that are needed for proper health care. And I contend that if we continue with the Straits of Hormuz being closed and effectively blockade Iran, they will be forced to negotiate because they will starve and inflation will kill them. Double tap hit the like button.
40%.
Let's listen again, because I've been telling people about this inflation and I don't think people understand.
China aren't even in the sandbox. The president setting the table. And now the Iranian economy is on the brink.
We have found the money man for the Ayatollah, and we hope to soon be able to print his $100 million plus properties and show the addresses. Their currency has collapsed. It is at an all-time low versus the dollar. It's in free fall. And we think the inflation rate is upwards of 180%.
Iran sugar daddy, China.
And the fact of the matter is, if they can't get the Straits of Hormuz open, then it's doomed for their currency. And it's not just today. If people who understand economics, who understand financial things, it's not just today, right? You know, finances and economics is never about today. You plan ahead. It's always about the next 20 years, the next 100 years. So it's not about the Iranian currency today. It's what the Straits being closed. It's what this war with America will do with the Iranian currency going forward, if it's even going to be a viable currency. I say no. I say no, as too much damage have been done to what the IRGC put forth, right? Iran will emerge with the new government after this war and put forth a new, probably digital currency, because the current currency is no longer worth any money. But people are not thinking about that because they listen to CNN propaganda. And this is another thing I need you to understand. This issue with Iranian inflation is not new. It did not begin on February 28th when America invaded Iran. Going back to the 12-day war, they've had protests in Tehran. They've unalived over 52,000 of their own people. The people are protesting. Why are 50,000 people protesting in the middle of Tehran? Remember the videos that we saw going back to the 12-day war of all the Iranian people protesting the IRGC? They're protesting because they're starving, because they're hungry, and the IRGC has broken the social contract and decided to spend more money on missiles and satellites than on bread and food production. That's why people were protesting going back a year. So when I tell you about the inflation, when we tell you about the starvation, it did not start on February 28th. Double tap at the like button.
Alligator arms. Crude purchases down 40%. Venezuela, even worse. Big mistake by Beijing to build their energy supplies off sanctioned rogues, now surrounded by Pistol Pete. Our Arab allies believe that Iran's about to tap. Their economies in tatters and their currencies cratering. Yep, they're still shooting, but they can't keep up.
Iran is at the weakest point militarily it has ever been in the past decade. Certainly, maybe in 47 years, as they've gathered effectively a terror army. So I acknowledge they still have capabilities, no doubt. But the amount of damage that we've done to them over the course of these series of operations has put them in the worst place they've ever been.
The mission's expensive. There's no doubt about it. The president argues it is worth the cost. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, he says, or a military that can jack up U.S. energy prices. Hegseth and General Raising Cane testified on Capitol Hill today to say we have to finish the job, but they need money. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs says the character of war is changing, and Biden left them with an empty war chest.
The Biden administration ignored hypersonics. They just decided to pretend like that technology didn't exist and we shouldn't invest in it. There are things, I don't know what Lloyd Austin did for 4 years. I really don't.
Well, I'm sure
the amount of neglect, the amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy, it was staggering when we took over.
Democrats at the hearing did talk a lot about winning the war, but they mostly meant the war in Ukraine.
We're at a moment in history where we can win the war in Ukraine. That victory would be critically important for those people who have fought for more than 4 years against the odds and proven they can put Putin back on his heels. But instead of finding the money that they need now for air defenses, we're putting more money into this exchange with Iran, a war of choice, which we never should have entered.
Did the Democrats say we have to win the war in Iran? I didn't hear it. They all said we have to win the war in Ukraine. Guys, the U.S. is at war now. No one's shooting at Americans in Europe. They're shooting at Americans in the Strait.
I appreciate as much as anybody winning a war, but I sit in front of a committee that wants to talk about winning a war that's been going on for 4 years and talks about strategic defeat of a conflict that's been going on for 4 months to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb. I would hope for some perspective in this town of the historic nature of what President Trump is undertaking. Do you want radical Islamists to have a nuclear bomb?
I don't want to hear your speech because I have limited time.
I don't understand.
If you can't answer my question, then I will move on to my next question.
Obama and Biden sent money to Iran. They used it to buy missiles, launch them at our troops, and now the Democrats don't want to send money to the Pentagon to keep them safe. They want to give money to Zelensky, but not Trump. The Democrats want to win the midterms. They don't want to win the war in Iran. Now, it was back and forth all afternoon until Pete finally erupted.
You don't have a strategy. You don't have a long-term plan to actually win this war. Win the war. The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership. When will you show leadership? When will you show leadership?
Why don't you show some leadership and stand up to your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops, who stand and play partisan politics while you don't give us the money? You want to stand up here and talk about the troops? You won't show any political courage to actually fund our department because you have Trump derangement syndrome and can't actually commit to anything meaningful.
You have Trump derangement syndrome and won't commit to anything. I love Pete Hegseth. Put a 1 in the chat if you support Pete Hegseth. I think Pete Hegseth was a great pick. He's doing a great job at the Department of War. Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill. I'm coming to you day 11 on updates. Day 11 on updates. Pete Hegseth is called out by the brave protester. Double tap, hit the like button. Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill getting funding for our brave troops. We support the troops. God bless the troops. And God bless Pete Hegseth. I like that right there. The United States, red, white, and blue. Can I get red, white, and blue on the chat? Man, this is one of the greatest Department of War leads ever. Let's go, Pete.
1.5 trillion.
Mr. Secretary, please suspend until order is restored in the hearing room. We will begin the timing clock since you've been interrupted twice.
1.5 trillion
So the liberals let in protesters. I don't understand how she got in, why she wasn't arrested, but the liberals let in protesters. Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill testifying on behalf of the president.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you all for your testimony. And General Kane, let me just begin by expressing on behalf of all Georgians our immense gratitude and admiration for the service members who are making.
Let's keep going. Who is this? Secretary Hegseth going off on the Senate for prioritizing funding for Ukraine over the American military. Yeah, they don't like that Ukraine conversation because they know who started the Ukraine, and they never like to talk about how and why do we even get into a conflict in the Ukraine with the nuclear power Russia. Double tap at the like button.
Thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5 supplemental requests for Ukraine, which almost every member of this body voted for to send rapidly in a bipartisan fashion for something that this committee and the administration deemed to be urgent. President Trump may take a different view, but that was the view of the Biden administration.
And real quick, wouldn't you say it would be urgent to make sure that our men and women in uniform right now have everything that they need?
I would argue providing for American men and women as opposed to Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals.
Come on, Pete Hegseth, baby. Come on, Pete Hegseth, baby. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go. This is MAGA Mega Wednesday. All we do is win Wednesday. All we do is win. And if you came for MAGA, put your hands in the air. Let them stay there. How much did they spend in the Ukraine? And we still in the Ukraine. Over the weekend, Russia just bombed the capital of Ukraine, Kiev. The Ukraine lost 2 years ago. How many thousands of bodies have lost in the Ukraine? How long has Zelensky been president? We just talked about this. How long has Zelensky been? Zelensky being installed goes back to Biden and Obama. Double tap it the goddamn like button. Let's have a talk today. That's why they don't like to talk about Ukraine. We don't talk about Ukraine. We don't talk about you. We don't talk about the Ukraine. It goes back to Barack Obama and Biden. It goes back to Burisma. It goes back to Hunter Biden. It goes back to the Hunter Biden laptop. It goes back to the Biden crime family. That's why we don't talk about Ukraine. We don't talk about Ukraine. And why did we go to Ukraine again? What is our ROI? Can I get ROI in the chat? Because we got ROI coming out of our anus, coming out of our orifice when it comes to Iran. How many million barrels a day? 1 million barrels of oil on the wall. 1 million barrels of oil. We take one down and pass it around. Fuck Iran, oil on the wall. How much have we made in Venezuela? Can I get ROI in the chat, please? ROI. Return on investment, bitches. Return on investment, bitches. What's our ROI in the Ukraine, bitches? Why did we go to Ukraine? Said I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I'm going to do it. I said bomb Carg Island, but don't touch the pipes. Because we're going to keep the oil. We're keeping the oil. So what's our return on investment with the Ukraine? What's our return on investment with the Ukraine? Because, see, I know, and conservatives, see, we're not naive on this side. I actually get it. I actually know why we're in the Ukraine. And I've said it many a time. I said, America is done with the European romance. Can I get in the chat? I'm breaking up with you. Do you believe me when I ask you 21 questions? Girl, it's either love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? It's either love me now. We breaking up with Europe, bro. Haven't y'all seen the writing on the wall when you was in high school? Y'all knew the breakup was coming. It don't hit like it used to. It don't hit like it used to. The Queen Elizabeth is dead. They murdered Princess Di. Meghan Markle and the son defected from the monarchy. The son was hanging out with Epstein. He getting Epstein money. He was getting Epstein money, and then he got kicked out. And now there's no more monarchy in the parliament. You got Brexit. There's a difference between the EU and the UK. It's never been like this, ladies and gentlemen. It's never. So I understand how and why we got involved with the Ukraine. The Europeans are so-called friends and allies, but what it really is a romance. It's a bromance that existed from World War II that is no longer viable for either party, bro. You know when a breakup is coming because neither party is benefiting from the relationship, bro. Neither party is benefiting from the relationship, bro. Yeah, NATO is getting dumped. Europe is getting dumped. But neither party, see, Europe, every time we have a discussion about Iran, what has Europe said? Europe has said, we're going to focus on Russia. And I get it. This whole conversation is to let everybody know that conservatives get it. And this is what the point, how we got into the Ukraine in the first place. Because Europe's priority is this Russia proliferation. Europe's priority is whether or not Russia can be contained. That's not America's priority, no matter what you say, no matter how you feel. These are just geopolitical realities. I understand why this is why Starmer is out, you guys. Starmer is out. He gave his resignation to King Charles. Are you paying attention to the political climate? I get it, Macron, I get it. They were afraid of Putin in Russia. They tricked Joe Biden, who was old and senile. They tricked Kamala Harris, who was unqualified, a DEI hire, into going to the Munich Security Council and stoking violence with Putin and getting Putin to attack. And then they used the Ukraine as a proxy to fight a nuclear power. Russia is a nuclear power. At any given time, Russia could not drop a nuclear bomb and draw America into a nuclear conflict. This is why Trump won every single swing state. Can we have a real talk this morning? This is why Trump won every single swing state. Because people were afraid of the American border not being able to be closed and whether or not the conflict with Israel could be contained. Because at the time Trump was elected, the Israel and Gaza conflict was at its height and they were bombing each other still. We don't even talk about it anymore because Trump, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner got us a peace agreement, and all the hostages have been returned, including the unalive remains have been returned to the Israeli government. Double tap at the like button. Another victory for Trump. So when I talk about Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance dancing into the White House, I forgot to bring up the fact that we got peace in Gaza and all of the hostages were returned to Israel. So you have a victory in Venezuela, a victory in Cuba, you have peace in Gaza. And I'm explaining to you guys about the Ukraine, and they don't want to talk about the Ukraine because of these facts and realities. We never got to see the Hunter Biden laptop. We never got to see the Anthony Weiner laptop. This is why James Comey needs to be prosecuted, because we never got to understand truly what was going on with the Hillary Clinton server, what was going on with the Steele dossier. Why did Obama and Hillary Clinton create a fake lie and get the FBI to secretly via Arctic Frost to tap Donald Trump's phone and secretly and illegally to investigate a sitting president? That's when we say Biden mafia, Clinton mafia, we're not just saying it because it sounds good. We saying the Clintons were able, via the deep state, to have a secret investigation, Arctic Frost, against a sitting president where they tapped his phone, and a secret FISA court gave them a warrant to do so based on false intelligence. Double tap at the like button. I can't make this up. This is a reality. Based on false intelligence. So they don't want to talk about the Ukraine and how much money was spent in the Ukraine, because they don't want to talk about how and why we're in the Ukraine and how serious a conflict it is, because Russia is a nuclear power. And the fact that Joe Biden was senile, and Kamala Harris was unqualified. I'm going to say it loud. Kamala Harris was unqualified, and the Europeans was able to trick them into fighting their battles and protecting them against Putin in the 20th century. There was no need for America to fight on behalf of the monarchy in 2020. And that is what should piss off liberals. But the liberals are not intelligent enough to understand these arguments that I'm making. If you want to be mad at anything, you purple hair protesting pussy, you should be mad at the fact that we were tricked into defending a monarchy that we're not even a part of, bro. Hello, is everybody listening? Is everybody listening? Defending a monarchy that we're not even a part of, bro. That they just kicked out of the parliament, bro. That's what happened with the Ukraine, this romance and love affair for the blue bloods, for Europe, for France, for wine, for cheese, and for whiteness. And that is over. Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up in the chat. The romance, the bromance with Europe is over. Europe has to clean up its own house. And it makes sense. It's not us turning our back on our allies. An ally is like Israel, who has nuclear weapons and who can support us in a fight. Europe didn't help us with the bases, and Europe is not nuclear-wise or weaponized to the point where they can help us in a conflict against Iran. I hope everybody saw that in this conflict. They can't help us. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't because they don't have it. We breaking up with you, Europe. We breaking up with you. Listen to my brother Pete Heggeseth.
Well, thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5 supplemental requests for Ukraine, which almost every member of this body voted for to send rapidly in a bipartisan fashion for something that this committee and the administration deemed to be urgent. President Trump may take a different view, but that was the view of the Biden administration.
And real quick, wouldn't you say it would be urgent to make sure that our men and women in uniform right now have everything that they need?
I would argue providing for American men and women as opposed to Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals that went to Ukraine, as good as that cause may be, why is that righteous to do? But funding troops in harm's way right now, given the threat and what they're undertaking, this is a partisan exercise.
And so,
it's hypocrisy. And I
Mr.
appreciate
Secretary,
you pointing it out. Well, thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5.
So is Canada our empire as they refuse to trade? You know, I told a story to this propaganda. Is Canada our empire? Is France and Macron our empire? What about Spain? What about dirty Pedro Sanchez? Is that our empire? These are legitimate questions. I'm not even trying to bullshit you. This is straight up. Is Spain part of our empire when they didn't let us use the bases and they call America's terrorists? Pedro Sanchez. What about Denmark when they put them troops on the ground? When we talked about Greenland. What about when Denmark and Spain said we stand with the EU and we not with America? What about what Starmer said that we're not going to focus on Iran, we're going to focus on the European front against Russia? How? Please tell me. How is this part of something that belongs? I know we're paying for it. I know you're like a spoiled little girlfriend, a little bitch, and I buy you nice little flowers, and you still want me to buy you flowers and candy like a little bitch. But I said ROI. What do I get? See, when you say dismantling our empire, you mean we pay for you? And we treat you like a little bitch, and we protect you like a little bitch, and we pay for you. But I said ROI. What do we get out of the relationship, little bitch? Dirty Pedro Sanchez in Spain is a free rider. They don't pay for anything, right? Just a little pretty bitch. Europe is a little pretty bitch. And I said the bromance, the romance is over. And I know it might hurt your feelings. I know it might hurt your feelings, but that's a fact, bro. That's a fact, bro. The bromance is over. The romance is over. Just a pretty little bitch, and we got nothing. But for a long time, we was infatuated with the monarchy. But you guys, you know what's true is you did it to yourself because America was in love with the monarchy. And then you murdered Princess Di. See, you shit on the monarchy. You had the prince over here fucking with Epstein, then he got caught on the camera and lied. Fucking with little girls. This is the monarchy in Africa. You did all this bullshit in Africa. So you put poison in the mouth and minds of the world because the monarchy wasn't shit. Y'all never recovered from the murder of Princess Di. Y'all didn't handle it well. Can we have a talk? Y'all never recovered from the murder of Princess Di. The globe was in love with her. Y'all murdered her, and you never talked about it again. And it plagued you all the way to her son. See, everybody, this is a powerful talk we're having right now. See, you thought you could get away with it, right? This is why the love affair is over. This is why the love affair is over, right? You thought you could get away with it, right? And the world was able to be propagandized, but Princess Di had 2 sons. And now King Charles is president. I mean, now Prince Charles is the king. When I was a kid, it was Princess Di and Prince Charles. Now Prince Charles is the king. And his sons, Diana's sons, are the heirs to the throne. Double tap at the like button. And they murdered their mother. And they thought it would never come back up. But these boys didn't forget. And he married a black woman and left to America. like we could talk a lot, but you know what it meant when he married a black woman and he went to America? I'm not trying to, this is really complex geopolitical conversation when I talk about America and the fall of the monarchy and America no longer being in love with Europe, and this is the fall of NATO and the UN. When I tell you about Pedro Sanchez, if you don't know who Pedro Sanchez is, if you don't know about Spain, if you don't know the relationship between America and NATO going back to the first Trump administration, then you may miss a lot of this. You may miss a lot of this. And I know you don't want to talk about it because your TDS doesn't let you talk about it, because the Ukraine and the NATO and the European romance, it doesn't help you, because it all goes back to Obama. It's in the chat. It all goes back to Obama. It goes back to Hillary. It goes back to Biden. See, what happened was the world fell out of love with the monarchy, and it was the monarchy's fault. It was the monarchy's fault. And we never talk about what it really meant when Meghan Markle came in, and Meghan Markle was the last blow. Can we have a real talk? I don't want to be partisan. I don't want people to be upset. I want to have intellectual debate. Meghan Markle was the last thing. They blew it up. That was the end. Now they're not even in the parliament. It used to be the monarchy had an automatic seat in the parliament. When you were born, they kicked them out. Did y'all know that? I'm not just having this talk, man. We having a real talk. They kicked them out of the parliament. So why did we end up in the Ukraine? Shout out to Pete Hegseth. Powerful, powerful stuff. Why did we end up in the Ukraine? Why and how did we end up in the Ukraine? Powerful, powerful stuff, man. Powerful, powerful stuff, man. I'm just excited to be here, man. Double tap at the like button. Pete Hegseth reminding people how many supplements for Ukraine? 5. Can somebody put in the chat how much did Biden spend on the Ukraine in this European love affair to protect Europe? Because I'm telling you, the Ukraine-Russia conflict has nothing to do with the sovereignty, the protection, the economic stronghold of America. Nothing. And it has everything to do with the economics of Europe. That's all. It has no ROI for Americans in your everyday life. But yes, Putin expanding Russia has a direct effect on European countries and nations and the European people, but not American people. And the only way it affects you is if you say they're our allies and we love them and we want to protect them from Russia because they're our friends. And I say, fuck friends.
Well, thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5 supplemental requests for Ukraine, which almost every member of this body voted for to send rapidly in a bipartisan fashion for something that this committee and the administration deemed to be urgent. President Trump may take a different view, but that was the view of the Biden administration.
And real quick, when you say it would be urgent to make sure that our men and women in uniform right now have everything that they need?
I would argue providing for American men and women as opposed to Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals that went to Ukraine, as good as that cause may be, why is that righteous to do, but funding troops in harm's way right now, given the threat and what they're undertaking, this is a partisan exercise.
And so,
It's
Mr.
hypocrisy. And I appreciate you
Secretary-
pointing it out. Well, thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5.
Yes, we do forget recent history. Let's read this comment from Ryan. Ukraine war was planned back in 2008 when Obama overthrew their democratically elected president. It was a money scheme by the Democrats. That's why I said Biden family, Biden crime family. Thank you for that comment, Ryan. Some people, like Pete Hegseth just said, forget recent history. I don't know why. I think it's purposely convenient. I think they call it willful ignorance, Ryan. I think they call it willful ignorance on the side of the dumb Dems.
Well, thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5 supplemental requests for Ukraine, which almost every member of this body voted for to send rapidly in a bipartisan fashion for something that this committee and the administration deemed to be urgent. President Trump may take a different view, but that was the view of the Biden administration.
And real quick, wouldn't you say it would be urgent to make sure that our men and women in uniform right now have everything that they need?
I would argue providing for American men and women as opposed to Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals that went to Ukraine as good as
Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with Pete Hegseth that providing for American soldiers versus Ukraine should be a priority. This is the same question that Trump asked at the State of the Union. Put a 1 in the chat. This should be an easy question. Do you agree with Pete Hegseth that the priority of the Senate should be protecting the American soldier, providing that the American soldier have everything they need monetarily, or Ukraine? Put a 1 in the chat for America. Put a 2 in the chat for Ukraine. Shout out to Pete Hegseth.
Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States.
Would be urgent to make sure that our men and women in uniform right now have everything that they need.
I would argue providing for American men and women as opposed to Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals that went to Ukraine, as good as that cause may be, why is that righteous to do? But funding troops in harm's way right now, given the threat and what they're undertaking, this is a partisan exercise.
And so,
it's hypocrisy. And I
Mr.
appreciate.
Thank you so much, Hegseth. Oh, that's so powerful. So 5 supplements to Ukraine, and he didn't even deny how important that may be. But then you're going to say that there's no need to fund the troops now in Iran? He said that's hypocrisy. And then people say Pete Hegseth is not well-spoken, not intelligent, not qualified, not here for the job. Kiss my ass. Pete Hegseth, Pete Heggie, baby. My brother from another mother. I fucking love Pete Hegseth in the Department of War. He's a fucking kick-ass American, and I don't care what you say. We still believe in kick-ass Americans, John Wayne, and them people like that. So just kiss my ass if you don't like Pete Hegseth.
This is rebuilding our military from what was not funded in the past under the Biden administration. So this is from 2026, one big beautiful bill, which helped move the president's priorities like Golden Dome for America, move away from all the woke priorities of what the Biden administration was pursuing, give us a chance to start cutting these deals on munitions, all the things that the president wanted us to focus on: shipbuilding, hypersonics. I mean, the Biden administration ignored hypersonics. They just decided to pretend like that technology didn't exist and we shouldn't invest in it. There are things, I don't know what Lloyd Austin did for 4 years. I really don't.
Well, I'm sure
the amount of neglect, the amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy,
proceed, if I might,
was staggering when we took over. So one big beautiful bill gave us a chance to get caught back up.
Let me interrupt your speech for a minute, Mr. Secretary. It's my turn to ask questions.
This is rebuilding our military from what was not funded in the past under the Biden administration. So this is from 2026, one big beautiful bill, which helped move the president's priorities like Golden Dome for America, move away from all the woke priorities of what the Biden administration was pursuing, give us a chance to start cutting these deals on munitions, all the things that the president wanted us to focus on: shipbuilding, hypersonics. I mean, the Biden administration ignored hypersonics. They just decided to pretend like that technology didn't exist and we shouldn't invest in it. There are things, I don't know what Lloyd Austin did for 4 years. I really don't.
They didn't do shit. They didn't do shit, bro. Pete, I told the chat yesterday about Pete Buttigieg, and now we got all these immigrants who don't have citizenship with CDLs unalive, and a state trooper in New Jersey lost his life. You know what he was doing? He's a gay man who got married and had a baby and took FMLA. We know what he didn't do? He did not make sure that people who couldn't read and write English didn't get CDLs so Americans could have their life. They didn't do shit when Biden was president, Pete. They didn't care.
No, the amount of neglect, the amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy, it was staggering when we took over. So one big beautiful bill gave us a chance to get
stale thinking and bureaucracy. The amount of stale thinking and bureaucracy. Ain't that the Democrats? Then we learn about the Southern Poverty Law Center. Man, it's status quo, man. It's the par for the course. It's how the Democrats get down. You know why the stale thinking and the bureaucracy exists, right? It's to keep the money flowing. Money, 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 money. Do you know the DNC still has $35,000 of Jeffrey Epstein money? Jeffrey Epstein never gave money to a Republican or to the RNC. The DNC, he gave money to the DNC, Democratic Senator Stacey Plaskett, and they still have $35,000 of Jeffrey Epstein money. All this is about money and power when it comes to the Democrats, Pete.
Beautiful bill gave us
Let
a
me
chance
interrupt
to get
your
caught
speech
back
for
up.
a minute, Mr. Secretary. It's my turn to ask questions.
This is.
Are you awake, Durbin? Are you awake? You sound asleep to me, Durbin. Durbin is actually asleep. Durbin is actually asleep. This is a guy going at Pete. Let's see. Do you think he does a good job? They said he went at Pete. Senator Ossoff, you need to go take your ass off. Sit down.
Already said Iran's military was destroyed and combat ineffective. You said, quote, Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory. You said Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. And you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Were those accurate statements?
It certainly was, on behalf of the men and women in uniform, a historic military victory over Iran.
Had Iran's military been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come? That was a statement that you made 4 months ago.
They had 160 naval vessels
You need to
in the
answer
Blue Water
the questions,
Navy,
Mr.
and they're gone.
Secretary.
Their Air Force
you
is
said 4 months
completely
ago.
combat
You
ineffective,
said
and they don't
4
have a
months
defense
ago.
industrial base.
Excuse
So
me,
describe
Mr.
to me a
Secretary.
country that doesn't have an Air Force, a Navy, or a defense industrial base, and I will
Mr.
describe to
Secretary.
you a country that does not have an effective
Mr.
military.
Secretary, you
It
stated,
can lob missiles.
Mr. Secretary, you stated
missiles,
4
but it's
months
not a
ago
combat
that
effective
Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. Has Iran's military been for the last 4 months combat ineffective?
It's been set back not just years, but likely decades.
I agree, man, and I got the numbers to support that. How much is going to cost to rebuild? Anybody know how much it's going to cost to rebuild in the Ukraine? $589 billion. You know how much it's going to cost to rebuild in Iran? Over $300 billion. We only been there 4 months.
Already said Iran's military was destroyed and combat ineffective. You said, quote, Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory. You said Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. And you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Were those accurate statements?
It certainly was, on behalf of the men and women in uniform, a historic military victory over Iran.
Had Iran's military been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come? That was a statement that you made 4 months ago.
They had 160 naval vessels
You need
in
to
the
answer
Blue
the
Water
questions,
Navy,
Mr.
and they're gone.
Secretary.
Their Air Force
you
is
said 4 months
completely
ago.
combat
You
ineffective,
said
and they don't
4
have a
months
defense
ago.
industrial base.
Excuse
So
me,
describe
Mr.
to me a
Secretary.
country that doesn't have an Air Force, a Navy, or a defense industrial base, and
Mr.
I will describe to
Secretary.
you a country that does not have an effective
Mr.
military.
Secretary, you
It
stated,
can lob missiles.
Mr. Secretary, you stated
missiles,
4
but it's
months
not a
ago
combat
that
effective
Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. Has Iran's military been for the last 4 months combat ineffective?
It's been set back not just years, but likely decades.
I agree, not just years, but likely decades. Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill. It's only a hill.
Already said Iran's military was a
Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill, going after that big money, man. Going after that big money, man. Let's go.
1.5 trillion.
Mr. Secretary, please.
Arrest her!
Until order is
Put that
restored
bitch in
in the
cuffs.
hearing room. We will
Don't say my
begin
dog.
the timing clock
Get that bitch off.
since you've been interrupted twice.
How did she get in there? How she get in there? I make America look bad, y'all. I make America look bad. Look at this shit.
Budget request. 1.5 trillion.
Mr. Secretary, please suspend until order is restored in the hearing room. We
I thought Iran was
begin
winning.
the timing clock since you've been interrupted twice.
I thought Iran was winning. Stop bombing our children. And I thought Iran was winning. Hold on. How? At least she got a hijab on. How she get in there with a hijab? She could have killed. What? Look, hold up.
Base budget request. 1.5 trillion.
Mr. Secretary, please suspend until order is restored in the hearing room. We will begin the timing clock since you.
Oh man, it's over. How she even get in there with the hijab on? Man.
Been interrupted twice.
So twice Pete Hegseth was interrupted. So two people got in here. That make America look bad. It's supposed to be protected. It's the Secretary of War up here. It's the Secretary of War. How the hell you just don't have better security than that? Donald Trump had 6 assassination attempts. How this bitch get in here? How this bitch get in here? Did y'all see this bitch? Look at this bitch just jump up.
Suspend until order is.
And then she said, stop shooting our children in Iran, but I thought Iran was winning. Stop bombing our children in Iran, but Iran is winning. Didn't y'all just see that white man just yell at Pete Hegseth and talking shit about Iran is not decimated? Huh? He gonna talk all this shit like Iran is still kicking ass, but Iran has a sympathizer stand up in the courtroom crying, don't kill Iran children. Hey, Senator Ossoff, Senator ass in your ass, Senator ass in your ass, you need to go listen to that lady crying, begging America not to kill Iranian children if you want to know how well we're doing in Iran.
Already said Iran's military was destroyed and combat ineffective. You said, quote, Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory. You said Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. And you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Were those accurate statements?
It certainly was, on behalf of the men and women in uniform, a historic military victory over Iran.
Had Iran's military been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come? That was a statement that you made 4 months ago.
They had 160 naval vessels.
You need to answer the questions,
Navy,
Mr.
and they're gone.
Secretary.
Their Air Force is
said 4 months
completely
ago.
combat ineffective, and they don't have a defense industrial base. So describe to me a country that doesn't have an Air Force, a Navy, or a defense industrial base, and I will describe to you a country that does not have an effective military. It can lob missiles.
Mr. Secretary, you stated 4 months ago that Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. Has Iran's military been, for the last 4 months, combat ineffective?
It's been set back not just years, but likely decades.
Correct. I agree with the Secretary. Now, and to put forth evidence of my agreement with the Secretary, I replayed that again because I wanted to put this in context, this other video in context, because he is suggesting that Iran is doing so great. My argument is, if Iran is doing so great, right, then why do we have this?
Base budget request. 1.5 trillion.
Did y'all hear it? Did y'all hear it? That don't sound like they winning to me.
1.5 trillion.
So America is spending $3 billion a day. We're in 11th days of bombing, and Iran is whining and crying. Iran is whining and crying, but CNN has the propaganda to make American people think Iran is somehow viable contenders and can compete with America. It's not happening, y'all. Iran cannot compete with America. This is what Iran is doing. Propaganda, whining, bitching, and moaning while we drop billions of dollars of bombs over Baghdad. Don't pull the gun out if you ain't ready to bang. Bombs over Baghdad. if you ain't ready to bang, bombs over Baghdad. Don't whine and cry now, bitch. Don't whine and cry now, bitch. Shit.
5 trillion.
Mr. Secretary, please suspend until order is restored in the hearing room. We will begin the timing clock since you've been interrupted twice.
He was interrupted twice. Not only was she perfectly behind him, bro, but that was the second time. Bro, it was twice. He was interrupted like that twice. Y'all in the chat, man, y'all be jumping to conclusions. Just listen for a minute, hit the like button, subscribe, become a member of the channel, man. You want to be here. If you got some intelligence and you like including yourself on the debate, you want to be here. Bro, that happened twice. That happened twice, bro. Yes, you're correct. It was perfectly conveniently behind him, but it happened twice, bro. What did that say?
Completely aware that the Strait of HORMUZ could be closed, and obviously sinking their ships has not affected their ability to effectively close the straits.
We had U.S. boats that surrendered to Iranian ships under the Biden administration, so their navy was effective in expeditionary
we're
ways
talking about a war you started, not a situation in which oil was flowing freely. There was no conflict. We weren't losing personnel as a result of Iranian actions. So your fallback to the Biden administration is just a very, very obvious excuse for what I think is probably, as you described so often, gross negligence. You did not fully inform the president that you would be in a situation where the Strait of Hormuz could be effectively closed, oil prices could surge, and effectively the Iranians could maintain their ability to strike back as they are right now. They just killed some of our servicemen last weekend.
Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill. It's only a hill sitting on Capitol Hill.
Completely aware that the Strait of
Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill, and they don't understand. We want the Straits of Hormuz to be closed. I want it to stay closed. I want it to stay closed.
Didn't exist, and we shouldn't invest in it. I mean, the Biden administration ignored
Biden administration ignored everything because he was asleep. Biden was asleep.
Priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals that went to Ukraine, as good as that cause may be, why is that righteous to do? But funding troops in harm's way right now.
Pete Hegseth dropping bombs on your moms. Pete Hegseth dropping bombs on your moms, Capitol Hill.
What that means, that means 1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what not fully funding this department, the Department of War. And we know what that means, that means 1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us. Not funding this department at 1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk.
Somebody in my chat, man. Somebody in my chat was very intelligent. And when they had already researched this is not the first time Pete Hegseth has talked about this money. Somebody in my chat said, with the drone technology and military advances, the U.S. military needs this money, especially after defund rhetoric in the Biden administration. So my argument in support of Pete Hegseth and my intelligent chat room, shout out to my chat, W chat, is take a look at when we bombed the latest Navy, when we bombed the Iran naval base. And the reports were, this was the first time the U.S. Navy has used that type of drone. And the reports were the drone technology to blow up the Iranian naval base. It was the first time we used it in a boat. It was a boat drone technology that had a detonator on it. The rumors are the technology came from the Ukraine. Are y'all listening? The rumors are the technology came from the Ukraine. So what my chat was saying and what Pete Hegseth is saying is if we don't invest, this is not no joke, if we don't invest in the American military, we won't be able to continue to fight these type of wars and be viable in these wars. We had to get help from the Ukraine. We had to get help from the, how do you feel hearing when I say that was the first time the Navy used that type of drone?
Not fully funding this department, the Department of War. And we know what that means, that means 1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us. Not funding this department at 1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk. Not fully funding this department, the Department of War. And we know what that means, that means 1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us. Not funding this department at 1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk. Not fully funding this department, the Department of War. And we know what that means, that means 1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us. Not funding this department at 1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk. Not fully funded.
That unlocks our third reconciliation bill, which of course is Republicans' best shot to get as much of the Save America Act into law as possible, in addition to funding our national defense and our farmers. Republicans support our troops, our farmers, and election security. We're the only team in Washington that does. Many of you doubted our success. Many of you standing around me in the Skaggle right now said, let me read you a sample of the headlines. Quote, House Republicans face
So first, let's take a look at the Pickaxe Mountain complex. The ventilation shaft might be a good way in. That's where we went in to the Natanz nuclear complex there. You open up the shaft and you follow it up with another rocket right on top of that. Believe it or not, they can do it with very little problems. But this is roughly, for us, it seems blurry and hard to distinguish. For the satellite experts, and what they are seeing is actually very deliberate and easy to detect. Natanz nuclear site. This is the way it did look. After we hit it, this is how it was obliterated. What will we use? The GBU-57. Now, it can only go down 200 feet, but if you go down 200 feet and then follow right away with another one that go another 200 feet, maybe you can make some damage to this Pickaxe complex, which is very much a mystery. So these are some of the things that we have to do and we have to handle if we're going to handle Iran's nuclear program. So first, let's take a look at the Pickaxe Mountain complex. The ventilation shaft might be a good way in. That's where we went in to the Natanz nuclear complex there. You open up the shaft and you follow it up with another rocket right on top of that. Believe it or not, they can do it with very little problems. But this is roughly, for us, it seems blurry and hard to distinguish. For the satellite experts, and what they are seeing is actually very deliberate and easy to detect. Natanz nuclear site. This is the way it did look. After we hit it, this is how it was obliterated. What will we use? The GBU-57. Now, it can only go down 200 feet, but if you go down 200 feet and then follow right away with another one that go another 200 feet, maybe you can make some damage to this Pickaxe complex, which is very much a mystery. So these are some of the things that we have to do and we have to handle if we're going to handle Iran's nuclear program.
was defending the administration. Overnight, U.S. forces targeting Iran for the 11th straight night. And Iran retaliating once again, launching missiles and drones towards U.S. bases throughout the region. While on Capitol Hill, Secretary Pete Hegseth was defending the administration request for $67 billion to fund the war.
You are asking for unlimited money for bombs when people can't feed their families. And I don't know how this administration intends to defend those decisions to the American people.
Not unlimited bombs, Senator. I'm asking for the right bombs at the right time to ensure we can deter our adversaries into the future.
And at the White House, our Mary Bruce pressing President Trump about what comes next.
Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. Why, do you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and kill Americans.
Trump insisting that the Iranians want to meet, something he has said many times before.
I will tell you, they want to desperately meet. And until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest.
18 service members have now died in this conflict, including those 4 killed since Friday. This morning, the Pentagon identifying the 4th soldier who died in the last week. She is 28-year-old Sergeant Angel Rampersad of Ozone Park, New York. The youngest killed was 19-year-old Isabella Gonzalez from Texas. Her high school friends shot.
Having to look through photos, you know, all the good memories. It's just, I can't even put it into words how heartbreaking it is to get the news that my really good friend, you know, she's not here anymore. And I didn't even get to see her. I didn't even get to say bye.
And the wife of 30-year-old Sergeant Michael Swinton of North Carolina telling ABC News he was an amazing husband and father to his 2 young children. The father of 25-year-old First Lieutenant Tyler Feehan tells ABC, "Our hearts are shattered," calling his son and the others who were killed our heroes. The remains of the soldiers will arrive at Dover Air Base for the so-called dignified transfer later this morning. President Trump will be in attendance.
Daddy,
Hey,
don't tell me about this.
okay, I'm here. I come. I'm about to come right now. We're going to practice. Okay,
Daddy.
I gotta go. Okay, everybody. Got Little League on Wednesday. I usually would go for another hour. I got Little League practice, so I got to shut down the podcast. I want to say thank you to everybody. God bless those troops, man. God bless those troops, man. We stand with the troops, support the troops. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your love and your commitment. God bless those troops. God rest their soul. God bless their families. Thank you for your commitment to the American people. Everybody in the chat, send out your prayers and blessings to the loss of life and the casualties we suffer. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to everybody who hit the like button. Do me a big favor right now. Hit the like button. We on a race to 13,000 subscribers. Everybody right now, if you double tap the screen, hit the like button and subscribe, we will get 13,000 subscribers. Everybody watching right now, if you hit the like button and you subscribe, everybody right now, if you hit the subscribe button, we will hit our 13,000 subscriber goal. Everybody watching right now, double tap, hit the like button and subscribe, and we will hit our 13,000 subscriber goal. And what you could do for me as a big favor, you can go to the channel right now. After you hit subscribe, let me know, did we get to 13,000? Put it in the comment section right now. After the video is over, you can put it in the comments. Perfect Timing Podcast, we got to 13,000. right now, everybody watching, if you hit the like button, double tap the screen and hit subscribe, we will get to 13,000. It's a big milestone on our way to 20,000, on our way to 50,000, on our way to 100,000 subscribers. I want to say thank you to everybody who hit the like button. Thank you to everybody that subscribed. Once again, God bless those soldiers. Truly, truly thank you for your commitment. God bless you and your children and your families. God bless all of the troops who have sacrificed and committed for the American people. Thank you to everybody who watched, who hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. We do this every day on YouTube at 1 p.m. The #1 podcast on YouTube for geopolitical debate and domestic political debate. I'm very excited to see you guys here right now. I'll be even more excited to see you guys tomorrow at the beginning of the podcast. Every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. When you hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we go live. So you don't miss any live streams from the beginning. But if you subscribe, become a member, you're very welcome to go to the channel and watch and binge watch all of our previous live streams. Get to know the content, get to know the host, get to know the channel, support the movement. We'll be here for November 2026, supporting MAGA, supporting conservatives, supporting Republicans, all the way to 2028 with JD Vance and Marco Rubio. So I'm excited to see you, and I'll be excited to see you there. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Perfect Timing Podcast, and we out.